You're watching the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent and Austen Show.
Well, welcome to Everbank Stadium, everybody. We start an hour early here on the Brent and Austen Show, and we turn it into a high school football all-day show, it seems like, here on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network, on all the social media channels as well. Brent Martineau, Stuart Webber, Olivia Tassley. We'll give... Oh, Bobby Ramsey, right there. Yeah, you just saw him walking in. There's Bobby Ramsey. He's a star on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network, actually.
That's right. He had his own show and everything.
After the game, and he joined us from Strings a couple weeks. Bobby's everywhere. The new coach at Jackson High School. Just one of the changes in high school football. So that's a big day. It's always a fun day, Baker Sports Media Day. And in conjunction, by the way, with Jaguars Prep and all the things Jaguars are doing with high school football and flag football in the area and youth sports. And one of our favorite things, we've been coming here for years and years. It's one of the best. It's probably the best in the country when it comes to high school football. I can't imagine anybody does it better than this. And it's new and improved on 3 different floors, Stuart Webber of Everbank. We've got ping pong, college football 25. There's a throne over there that I expect you to sit in later.
Okay, yeah.
Different media outlets. We have press conference room downstairs. There's like a car. Remember the Jags did car stuff during their media day? Well, they brought a similar looking thing here, and we'll take everybody around the stadium
We'll give
today.
you a look. Yeah,
and where all the high school kids are.
You have this big stadium. You might as well use as much of it as you possibly can, right?
You do have some real estate here.
Yes.
And it really kicks off high school football. August 1st is today, so happy August.
Are we going to have to do this show in Gainesville in 2027 also?
Yes.
If the entire thing moves over there?
I actually, they're already working on some of those kind of logistical things.
These are questions we have.
I've heard. So they have questions about that too. But hey, this kind of kicks it off. High school football started Monday. Practice, a little midnight practice for some. And here we go. And when you have high school football in this area, usually you have some FHSAA changes. You have coaching changes. And now you really have a lot of transfers, too. So you're going to need your program. But we know we're going to get high school football, and a good one on Friday nights. It starts with our previews on August 16th. Week 1 is August 23rd. And Stuart, by the way, runs a lot of our high school football coverage, so take it away.
Yeah, so that 16th, it's week 1 of the Friday Night Blitz, and it is the start of the regular season in Georgia for our handful of Southeast Georgia teams that we cover up there as well. So we'll be giving them a little spotlight in that one. Plus, preseason kickoff classics all across our area. So for us, that's kind of like a warm-up. It's our preseason, too. Yeah, that's how we like to look at it. And it's a good chance for us to kind of preview the season, let you know the big storylines, the players to watch, teams to watch, matchups to watch, all that throughout the course of the year. And look, we're extremely excited about what we'll be presenting on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network this year. We're unveiling, right?
We are unveiling.
Let's do it. So we're doing what's called the Friday Night Zone Blitz, and basically we're going to be taking you from 8 p.m. till midnight each and every Friday night once we get that thing cranked up in early September. So 4 straight hours of high school football coverage. We know we want you at the games, but for the people who aren't at the games or who want to watch it back on a Saturday or late in the evening on a Friday night, this is a terrific way to stay connected and check out the best games each and every week. And we're going to give you live look-ins. We're going to give you coach interviews. We have our analyst, our Hall of Famer, Kevin Sullivan. We're bringing your bands of the week. We've got that as a segment coming up this year as well, a new little wrinkle in there. And we're really excited about what we can do with this streaming network with Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's kind of like we got this real estate and we can put some new houses on it, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You know, we have this real estate and we're excited to kind of expand our coverage in a way that we think the folks at home are going to love.
We're building Nocatee.
Yes, it's a new Nocatee. No HOA in this one, though.
No HOA fees, that's right.
None of
I
that.
just got a letter from those guys. More on that maybe next week on the Brent and Austen show.
Another segment.
But, yeah, man, we are excited about it. We launched this network in March. Obviously, a lot of run on social media, but the network can be found on actionnewsjax.com, Action News Jax app, Action News Jax Now if you have Roku and Apple TV and Google TV and all the rest, and start getting that and used to that for moms and dads and grandmas and aunts and uncles and, again, not just football players, cheerleaders and band members and everybody else. And it doesn't have to be right here in Jacksonville. That's the beauty of it. But we are going to really explode on the high school coverage for this new 24/7 network. So it's going to be fun. That will actually take place like later in August because we do have some conflicts early on. Week 1, we actually have a Jags game of the high school football season.
We'll still be doing the Blitz. We're still going to – I've kind of looked at that schedule in those first 3 weeks. So that's 16th, 23rd, and 30th.
Yeah.
Those are kind of be the beta test,
yeah,
as it were. We're going to roll out some features. We're going to test some things. We're going to get our feet wet with it. And then really, once we get into that September schedule, then we're really going to roll out that full coverage and show you what we can do here on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Absolutely. Right around us, you might hear a lot of noise throughout our show today because we've got a group of, actually Olivia's right over there, and she gets what we call IDs for our shows, but also some interviews with the kids off to the side. We're going to bring coaches and players here too. So you might hear some ruckus going on. That's just some of our other recordings. So it's a cool deal. We got 3 floors of high school football today. Got all the area teams that are going to stop by between now and about 1 o'clock. And we're actually going to record another edition of After the Game, which you can find on our YouTube channel right now.
How cool is that, Ben? It's been such a cool show. Yeah.
We have a playlist with all the different episodes so far. I think we've done 7 of them. Next week, we will have Jamie Rogers from Bradford along with Josh Baker and Kevin Sullivan. And I think we're going to record Marty Lee today from Baker Sports Media Day. So a lot of fun, a lot of high school coverage. And we're just going to keep telling you where to find it and how to get it. So as for this season, here we go. Classifications mixed up again. I would say this. I've been doing local sports now, crazy enough, for 25 years. And I have always said, I've been in Louisiana, back home in Rhode Island, Albany, New York, and now down here for a while. And the one thing I never lock into, now you do a better job of this, is district classification, whatever, because it changes like every 2 years, and it's called different in every state. And I mean, it's a hard thing to follow, I think, for the average fan. And it just changed again. And
look, here, I'm gonna give the FHSAA a little bit of credit here. They took a swing.
They did with the suburban metro.
With the suburban metro idea, they took a swing at it.
It had some good merit to it.
It did. And basically what they did was they took the 8 biggest counties in the state and separated them from the rest of the state, and a rural division as well. But basically taking those Miami, Orlando, Tampa, Duval County schools and separating it from the Alachua counties, the Leon counties, the Marion counties, Nassau, Clay, St. John's even, although I'm sure they were probably like 9th if I had to guess. I'm sure they were right on the precipice of being one of those top 8 as they continue to grow. But they took a swing and they said, let's try this. Let's split these up. Let's see how that affects, the quality of play in these championships if we're getting the right champions represented.
Or new champions. One of the reasons they did that, Stuart, was because I think the number was something like 80% of the state championships had come from those 8 counties.
Correct. Yeah, and so they took a swing. They did it for a 2-year cycle. That's how they do these classifications, 2-year cycles. And then they said, you know what, we're going back. Yeah. So now they're back to your standard 7A all the way down to 1R. 1A and then 1R. So there's eight different classifications where, 7 standard and the rural classification as well. So they went back to that. And I mean, we have those classifications. We also have more and more teams electing to go with the SSAA, which is an independent kind of conference that groups like teams together that maybe aren't happy with that FHSAA schedule, and that those teams that they were having to play and just get their brains beat out every week.
Most notably, like Fernandina Beach and West Nassau, right?
There are some interesting defections there, if you want to call it that.
I think so, because we're wondering if more teams will follow.
Yeah, I mean, Fernandina Beach, West Nassau, Interlochen, Paxton, Stanton, those are all public schools in our area that have opted to do the SSAA instead of the FHSAA, and kind of are able to set their own schedule and do it a little differently because they prefer it that way. And so it is interesting as that group continues to grow and grow. But yeah, we have a whole shuffle. We got new schools this year to cover. So that's always interesting as I try and fit everybody on my spreadsheet here. I have to add new rows constantly. So we get more and more teams. We're up to like 60 or 70 schools that we cover in our area of Southeast Georgia and Northeast Florida. We go all the way from Brunswick down to the southern tip of St. Johns County, all the way down to Palatka, really, and as far west as Columbia. So we really cover a large area. We got a lot of teams out here. And all the storylines exist once again in 2024.
Yeah, they're pretty good storylines. So, one big thing, we got Mandarin coming off the state championship runner-up finish, and they are loaded again, by the way, with the talent that they had and bringing in talent. The two big transfer schools, and I don't know if people are going to like me saying this or not, and we're still getting used to all this, and I don't think everybody loves this, but the bottom line is there are a lot of kids that have moved from X school to Mandarin and X school to Reigns, which is way it sounds. That's a public school move type thing. You see this in the private schools. We've seen it from maybe it's Bowles or Trinity Christian or others kind of get used to that. But this is kind of the new age of high school sports, and especially in high school football. Mandarin is loaded with talent, and they were loaded
before. Yeah. It's a new world, right? It's a different way of looking at it. I saw, and shout out to Clayton Freeman, who does such a great job at the Florida Times Union. He did an article of like the top 20 transfers in high school football, players to watch that are transferring. And it's like, are we at this point? And we are. I mean, we're at the point now where you can put together a list of 20 meaningful transfer students who are going to make an impact at their new school. And so, yes, Mandarin does have a lot of those players coming in, and so did Reigns. And, there was a lot of movement in other places as well. So, it'll be interesting. I do think you lose a little bit of that camaraderie, that storyline of, hey, I've been playing with this guy since we were in Pee Wee. Since we were doing Pop Warner. And that's always such a cool part of the game when you have those communities that have grown up together and done that. Now, it's just the changing way of it, right?
That's the way it's going.
Exposure, you want to get your name out there, you want to play with the best players. That's always been a little bit of it, but it's on a whole new level now in 2024.
All right, let's see if we can grab. We got Creekside right here. They're going to be one of those teams to watch. Sean Aschenfelder and Coach McIntyre. Maybe we grab Coach Mack real quick. Just get some
we'll get it going.
Bodies in here.
Yeah, let's do it.
And we're going to have a lot of folks rotating in. Stuart Webber will bounce.
All right, I'll jump back in a bit.
I might need you, and I need a bathroom break, too. And Jason Hamby's back in the studio. He obviously knows that high school football scene as well. He'll be out on Friday nights with us. So he's pushing the buttons in an extra hour for us here today. So Brent Martineau, the entire Action Sports Jacks team, a little early on a Thursday here at Everbank Stadium on Baker Sports Media Day. And we are going to say hello to Sean McIntyre and his Creekside Knights. And hopefully he's having a good summer and got the kid around. What's up, man? How you doing, Coach?
Oh, it has been an awesome summer, Brent. I mean, it feels like summer outside, but fall is in the air. When it is media day, it is time to go for football, and it is an exciting time of year.
Yeah, what have you guys accomplished in the summer? I know that's where many of you guys that have built these programs have really put a lot of emphasis on. I mean, that's where you get better, right?
100%. It's all about a building process. Your winter workouts have to build in the spring football, and even though you're doing less things in the summer because of the lack of pads and equipment that you have on and the restrictions that brings, you still have to build in the summer. It has to be the next step. You have to step forward in the summer. And I'm very lucky in how committed our kids are. On a daily basis, we have more than 150 kids every single day. And, we had like 28 kids that didn't miss a workout this summer.
Wow.
And so just an awesome environment, an awesome time to be together and really build your team and take that next step forward. Our definition of commitment is it's not convenience. And obviously waking up on a summer morning and showing up at Creekside High School or any high school for that matter is not convenient for these young men, but they're committed to what they're doing. And that just bleeds into the season.
Give us a sense of the changes that are going on, and as we continue to kind of get a feel for them, roll through them. The most obvious one now, the districts change. Atlantic Coast, Sandalwood, for you guys, a very small district, which is a bit unusual for Creekside.
Very, very. We've obviously been in a very competitive, very large district, probably, in my opinion, the most competitive district in the state in the last 2 years. And that was an awesome endeavor. I love playing tough games. There's no fun in playing games that are not going to be very competitive and very physical. The kids work too hard to do those things. So Sandalwood and Atlantic Coast are both going to be very talented teams who are going to make us play the best version of our football, and that's all we're worried about. Every week being the best version that we can be of ourselves and control what we control. We don't talk about winning. We talk about what it takes to win, but we talk about the things that we have to do to win. But we're just trying to be the best version of us that we can be each and every week.
How much will you be led by the quarterback, Sean Ashenfelder? And I mean, is it you got to ride with him as he goes, you guys go, or is it more than that?
I think it's more than that. He's obviously a very talented player. He's a great kid. First and foremost, he's a great young man. And the guys believe in him. He's one of the guys. He's not like separate from them.
Yeah.
So, and that's important when you have a quarterback that's in the locker room, with the guys who the guys respect and are tight with. But we have a very senior-laden group. We have over 30 seniors, and many of them are going to start. So when you have a group that is that mature, you can put more on them. Seniors can handle more on the field, off the field, in the season, in a game, than younger kids can. And so it means more to them. It's their last go around, their last time. So we're going to ride our senior class this year, and we're going to go as they go. And obviously Sean's a big part of that. But all these 6 guys that we brought, all seniors, are going to be a huge component to it. And they're a fun group to be around.
We're about to find out if they're any good at ping pong. Hamby, I don't know if you can see that with our other shot there, but not that shot. Not that shot, Hamby. That's St. Bigsby. He's not up here. There you go. Who do you think, Coach? Who's your best ping pong player?
I have no idea.
See that big dude right there?
I can tell it's not. I can tell it's not Alex Springman. He's a great offensive lineman, but it doesn't look like ping pong's his deal. So I think I would go over there and run the table, though. I'll just tell you that.
You got some game?
Yeah, I can play a little ping pong.
Probably not as good you're probably not as good at college football 25.
Oh, definitely.
There in the distance.
Definitely not. I've been playing some Mario Kart Switch with this guy. I can get that in, but other than that, they're going to take me to. They're going to take me down in some video games.
Who is this guy in House Friday Nights with the fam, having your kids around, right? I mean, the family, it's become a family atmosphere on Friday nights.
100%.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
You guys are kind of all locked in for a few months.
Yeah, I'm very blessed in how supportive my wife is and all of our coaches' wives are. This is Connor. Connor was actually born the month we got the job.
Wow.
And so the program has kind of grown as he's grown. And, this summer he's reading books and kind of on his own and going places and, taking bike rides around the loop by himself. And that's kind of where our program is. Everybody knows what to expect on a daily basis, and they're able to show up at Creekside High School and get better and do their job on their own. And there's not as much managing of that on my end. So I'm able to I'm actually been coaching a little bit more detailed football this year than maybe in some years past when I was managing some more culture-driven things. And culture is something I fight for every single day, but everybody knows those expectations and know those standards and what happens if you don't meet them. And I'm lucky to have the support of my coaches that I have. I mean, we've got 29 coaches right now on staff.
Wow.
160 players, but when we go to Creekside today, when those kids show up at 3:45, they're going to weigh in. Everybody knows where to be and how to be, and it's fun to watch. It's fun to see them be able to go through the day and get better today, because even with the number of people that we have around.
You're going to get tougher at 3:45 in that sun here on August 1st. All right, Connor, Mario Kart, you beat your dad or what?
Yeah,
good.
You can
Keep
beat
getting
me.
him now. Keep getting him.
He's getting better, that's for sure. So,
all right, go have fun this day. Sean McIntyre, appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks,
Good
Brent.
luck here
Appreciate
in,
you guys.
2024.
Go Knights, and welcome to 2024 football season. Appreciate you guys.
Say,
Thanks
man.
for all you do.
All right, thank you. That's Coach McIntyre from Creekside, and we'll continue to visit with all the different players and coaches here in the area. It's fun to see. We've talked about that, I think, on After the Game. We've seen Brian Braddock and other coaches talk about their family and their involvement in this. These guys really put a lot into it. Maybe at some point today we'll talk about how much they probably don't get paid for the work that they put into it, but it's a passion play for sure. And, Sean, obviously a big part of that. This guy is too, and Seatric Faison comes over and joins us now. Last time I saw him in this building, he was going into the Florida-Georgia Hall of Fame, I believe it was. Coach, how are you, man?
Pretty good. About yourself?
I'm great. Good to see you, and happy football season, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go time.
It's go time for
Go
sure.
time.
I mean, you guys have been going. Did you have a good? Just ask Coach Mack. Do you have a good summer? Because it all starts there, right?
Oh yeah, we had a real good summer. We had 70 kids, so can't complain.
Good. Is that a healthy number for you guys and where you want to be, or what?
That's a great number. We got depth, and since I've been the head coach, this year's team is the most depth I ever had. So it's perfect number for us.
give us an outlook or how you stand, with 3 weeks and plus away from the first game. That will be 3 weeks from tomorrow, week one. Obviously, you got a preview game before that, a jamboree. But how do you feel about this group?
I feel great about this group. Feel just the best group I ever had. Last year, that group was very, very talented.
Yes.
But just being one and being on one accord, this group has the talent, and they're all on one accord. And they're younger. I don't have many seniors. So the young guys, they're in tune, because I got guys on the team with offers, and that's where they want to be. So, they listen more and they listen to the older guys that we do have. But man, I'm excited about this team that I got this year.
C4 with us, the head coach of the Fletcher Senators. It's kind of nice when you get a younger group, right? And you're talking about a talented group, because you can project not just beyond this year, or not just this year, but beyond this year, and kind of say, okay, let's see where we are here in 24 and where we can get to in 2025 and maybe even 26.
Exactly. I always tell people, they always say, how you do your team? Sometimes if I'm senior heavy, I focus more on the freshmen and sophomores, because I know they're going to have at least 2 to 3 years to do their thing. And then when they become juniors, I'm already working on the freshman class. And man, I'm looking forward to the next 2 classes. Not so much 25s. These guys been around for a minute, but my 26 and 27 classes, I think very, very special.
What about the changes that just took place district-wise? How do you see all that? What are your thoughts on it? When it came out, were you like, oh, dang, or oh, good?
Well, when I first came, I was like, oh, when I first saw the districts this year, I was like, okay, that's fine with me, because I don't think it'll be a district like it was that first year I took over, when it was Nice, Atlantic Coast, Fleming, First Coast, and it was
loaded.
We was the only district in the state of Florida that had 4 out of 5 teams go to the state playoffs. So I don't think it'll be a district ever like that for me. But having Mandarin and Oakleaf and First Coast in the district is still tough. But, I don't think it's like that one I had my first year.
Yeah, that's loaded up. Last one for you. How have you come along? You just were on After the Game with Josh Baker and Kevin Sullivan. So if you missed it, it's fantastic. And I think the story to the sideline is more explained by Cedric Faison. But how do you feel like you are coming along as the head coach now that you settled in back at your alma mater?
I know what to expect more. And I know how to let my assistant coach be the assistant coaches, and step in when I need be. When I first took over, I'll see something and I'm trying to coach offense and defense, and now I don't have to do that. I just sit back and give my opinion when I see something that they're not seeing. But for the most part, it's just let my coaches coach.
I lied to you one more. Gators going to be okay, or are they in trouble with that schedule, man?
Gators going to be okay. The great thing about the Gators is when people talk down on us or don't expect much of us, that's when we usually do good. So I'm looking forward to this season.
They just started practice yesterday. C4, he's been underway this week, and good luck in 2024, man.
I appreciate
you stopping by.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, that is Cedric Faison. Of course, you know him well. Once a star on the high school Friday nights, an instant star here in the Jacksonville area, and then for the Florida Gators, and then a couple of stops in the NFL as well. And he's now been back a few years at his alma mater of Fletcher, and doing a nice job there. They've had playoff runs and a lot of wins and some streaky seasons where they bounce back from a slow start. You can get more of his conversation with Josh Baker and Kevin Sullivan on After the Game. Again, that's on YouTube. Gator fans will love it. Some of the stories, Fletcher fans will love it. High school football fans in the area will really love it. Cedric Faison, just part of our After the Game series, which you can find on a playlist on YouTube if you missed any of it. And, of course, we release it on our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network Tuesdays and Fridays at 2 o'clock. That replays at 6, and then we put it up there on the YouTube channel as well. Let's do this. Hamby doing a great job, man. Let's head to a break. We'll get some more action in here. It's really starting to pick up. Business is picking up. We even started the show early today. We're going to take you until 1 o'clock. A lot of high school football. Jags are off today, so this leads nice into talking all about the kids on high school Friday nights. It's going to be a big season in the 904 and in Southeast Georgia as well. It's the Brent and Austen show, a little bit early, and, well, without Austen today. We gave him the day off. The entire Action Sports Jacks team, part of this one. We'll be right back. Everyone loves a good game night. Here you don't have to be the host. You don't have to clean up. They bring the food and drinks to you, and you can watch whatever you want on the big screens. It's more than a card room. It's a night full of fun with friends. Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now the newest location here in St. Augustine, right off 95 at exit 311. A brand new clean room, a full bar and menu, my favorite sushi in town. And I love the fries too. You don't have to just play poker at Best Bet. That's why I come over here to the table games and play one card poker. That's a pretty good card and a win. One card poker is like war as a kid, you against the dealer. And this isn't the only fun table game to play. A friendly staff, a lot of fun. It's a good night out at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and the newest location in St. Augustine. You can be a serious player or a novice. It doesn't matter. If winning equals fun, you're a winner every time at Best Bet. I'll save you a seat, and I'll see you down here at Best Bet St. Augustine.
Oh man, it is that time. I love being outside, but it is just so hot. Oh my gosh, I cannot be outside. Well, you know, it doesn't have to be. As a matter of fact, I've got the perfect solution for you to be able to stay outdoors and not look like this guy.
GW Outdoor Solutions has the solution that will help you create areas of shade with their automated retractable awning. As the summer months inch closer, the high temperatures will be right there too. With GW Outdoor Solutions, go from scorching to cooling in no time with one simple push of a button. These innovative shade solutions not only provide protection from the sun and rain, but also add style and functionality to your home. Let GW Outdoor Solutions transform your backyard into paradise. Check out GWOutdoorLiving.com for your free estimate.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%. You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer. You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
It's hard to put a price on comfort, especially when you use that comfort on a daily basis. But if we're gonna put a price on it, how does the lowest price guaranteed sound? Furniture Source is gonna have the biggest brands, whether it's Ashley, Casper, or Tempur-Pedic, and once again, it's gonna be the guaranteed lowest price in Jacksonville. Right now, my friends at Furniture Source are gonna give you the ultimate hookup because all month long, they're making their inventory wholesale price. Check out their markdowns up to 50% off. And remember, since it's Furniture Source, you're getting the guaranteed lowest prices in Florida or your money back. Don't have the cash on you right now? It's no worry. Shop endless options to suit your style and budget and enjoy 36 months off with no interest financing. Why use your money when you can use theirs? Whether it's beds, couches, tables, or chairs, Furniture Source is going to have exactly what you're looking for. Shop the lowest prices in Jacksonville guaranteed. Find the location nearest you at FurnitureSourceJacks.com.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who's coming to your house. You know they will be well trained and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at BoldCityAC.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. BoldCityAC.com. And they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at BoldCityAC.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Well, there's the kids playing ping pong and table tennis. I don't know if they're Olympians. That's a different level now. Everybody thinks they're good at table tennis, and then you watch the Olympics, and you're like, holy cow. I was talking to my buddy yesterday. He's like, I think I would get hurt playing table tennis in the Olympics. Badminton, too, is another one.
That's another one.
They play at a different level. Jamie Rogers and his defense played a different level, too. Maybe we'll visit with the Bradford coach in just a minute. But we're visiting right now with Bobby Ramsey, the new coach at Jackson High School. Another new spot. You've done this before, though. What's it like when you... Hello, by the way. First of all, good morning and happy football season. What's it like when you take it over again? I mean, it's rejuvenating, it's refreshing, it's also probably comes with some headaches.
It is. It's the initial part is fun and exciting, and the reality sets in of the work you have to do, and really just getting to know everybody, the relationship piece, building all those. And that takes time, and that's something that you like to think that you get it all done pretty quick, but getting to know the players and getting to know the place is a process that you just can't speed up. It is what it is. So I think that going through that, and then as those bumps come along the way, as you build a relationship, as you incorporate your program, it's one thing to get up there and say, okay, hey, this is our culture, philosophy, this is what we're going to do, but then when you actually start doing it, that's where the battle starts. So it's just kind of inherent to whenever you go in somewhere new. The yellow brick road does lead up to the big green curtain, so it doesn't necessarily lead to a pot of gold. So when you get to the curtain, you're gonna have to answer the wizard. So,
there we go.
That's where I can put it.
That might be the quote of the day here in our first half hour. Bobby Ramsey with us from Jackson. You guys had midnight practice.
We did.
Which brings back a little tradition, from what I understand. Right.
Yeah, they've done it before, and I know Coach Floyd, they did it, and Mike Sullivan, they did it, and a couple of my coaches are ex-Jackson guys, and we're really trying to tap into the tradition there, and especially like those guys who played for Coach Sullivan, now I don't mean to date Coach Sullivan here, but now those guys have gotten older and their kids are actually coming through a program. True. So, I've always been a big believer you want to embrace that. Like Yulee and Impact were places where we were starting out. We didn't have that opportunity, and Mandarin, it's not quite the same setup as it is with Jackson ingrained in Springfield like that. So, not that we didn't have alumni or anything like that, but it was just a little different. So we're really trying to tap into that, and the kids had fun with it, and went about as well as I could have expected it to.
You just said something pretty interesting, and you're not afraid to say it. Bobby's, by the way, another guy we've had on after the game, so you can check out his episode on YouTube on the playlist. It's a terrific one, from Derrick Henry to Carson Beck to where he got to and how he got to Jackson. But a lot of coaches that come in, they don't want to mention the previous guys.
Right.
But actually at Jackson you do. Like, you want to mention what Sully did and what Foy did, because it's those are eras of stability, kind of keeping guys there, right? Building that program, where in the interim of those guys, it wasn't easy to do. Like kind of people started to wander a little bit to other schools or whatever else.
Right. Yeah, I think, look, I'm always going to try to look and see, okay, what has worked before, and what can we continue? I think you have to, it's always going to be your program. You can't run it the way that they would have wanted. You're not going to do the exact same things, and you shouldn't. You shouldn't try. Well, gosh, I got to do what he did. Yeah, I don't mean to be this comparison, but like with DeBoer coming in for Saban, he's obviously going to want to honor a lot of the things that Saban did, but he's got to be his own guy and run his own program. And I'm sure Saban would tell him that. So, but if it's worked, then why not do it? And I'm not going to let my ego get in the way of something that can be successful for the program and for the kids. And what's the best way for us to do things? If that's the best way, let's do it. But let's embrace those things. And I think you get a sense of what's okay. This is important to these. Like, we're going to maintain this. This is important to them. We're going to maintain that. I don't think you want to come in and be the guy that's like, we're just, because I think you see instances where sometimes they come in. Like I remember when Van Gorder got the Georgia Southern job, and he came in and he was like, the option's dead at Georgia Southern, and everybody, you're gonna get pushed. You're gonna start off making a lot of people upset. So I always say too, like what Steve Jobs said, good artists create, great artists steal. So
Look here at
my old
Baker
school.
Sports Media Day, and yeah, it is Impact Christian. There you go. As you helped build that program, start the program. That was totally different, like ground up at Impact Christian. How's your football team, the Jackson Tigers, this year? What do you like? I mean, do you have some talent?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the reasons I was interested in the job was I knew there were good players there. We have some guys, especially some experience, skill, and some guys that guys like Tay Lawson, Breon Glover, Anthony Jones, Daniel Moss, Tony Queen, running back, feel really good about him. Our quarterback, Jay Dixon's had a really good start to camp. He's battling with another kid, Fred Gooden, who's doing a good job. Line wise, we have some guys who, really feel like are foundational pieces. And a lot of these guys are younger. We only have 9 seniors. So, really doing it with a lot of younger kids, some kids, a kid named Roy Farrow, a kid named Vlad Adamacy, David Jones, who's with us today. So we have core pieces, I think, at every spot. And again, we were able to hit the ground running Sunday night. Like we talked about, we didn't have some of the logistical issues and paperwork issues that may slow you up on the first day of practice. So, we've been able to take advantage of our time pretty well and hopefully, win as many reps as we can.
I was just trying to look at your schedule real quick. You actually have Impact Christian you're playing.
No.
I'm looking at the wrong one. My bad. Or maybe I just don't have yours. It's on Max Prep. Sorry,
Right.
I was looking at the wrong thing.
No problem.
So tell me about your schedule then.
We obviously when we're in a tough district, Bowles is in there, and so the challenge is going to be there. But we're excited for that opportunity. I think the good thing about being in a district with a guy like that is what you're trying to get. The bar's high.
Yeah, you know where you're going.
You know where you're going. You got a lot of work to do to get there, and you can't cut any corners because they're not. So, but it's a challenge that we embrace and we're excited about. As far as the schedule early on, you obviously have your games like your Reball. We play First Coast late. Baldwin's in our district. They've been strong lately.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Atlantic Coast, who I think is going to, have a good football team. University Christian's always really good. So, and then we got a game down in Matanzas against Flagler, Palm Coast, and then Englewood is in there as well. And they've, Coach Johnson's done a good job the last couple of years. So, I think it's a schedule where we have an opportunity to win every week, but, you also got to do the right things. If you're not, you're going to lose.
All right, Bobby Ramsey, thanks for stopping by, man. I feel like I spent a lot of time with you recently.
Yeah, it's like three times, and I don't know. Either you're living right or I'm living right. I don't know how you look at it.
Well, hey, you're on Main Street now, man. I'm going to be at Spring Sports Brewery quite a bit. I think we're going to be having lunch together from time to time.
That's for sure, no doubt.
Thanks, man.
Right, thanks.
Appreciate it. By the way, just did an interview with Bobby Ramsey. Didn't ask him about Carson Beck or Derrick Henry. I want that noted.
That should go down in some kind of annals or something. That's the first time I think that's happened.
Thanks, man. That might be a bad interviewer by doing that, but there's plenty of other interviews out there over the years or over the last couple of weeks with Bobby and obviously Derek and what he did at Yulee and Carson Beck, who might be the number 1 overall pick. I think Bobby's got one of the great stories of Jacksonville football history. We don't really realize it yet because he's still kind of in his prime, if you will, from a coaching standpoint. Speaking of in his prime, I mean, we were getting like everybody that's been on after the game, like so far. This would just be one major push for after the game, the new show that we started on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network with Baker Sports. Josh Baker, Kevin Sullivan, Jamie Rogers. You haven't seen that episode yet. We taped it, and it will play next Tuesday. So tell everybody out there in Bradford County that it will be on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network, 2:00 next Tuesday. All right.
Yeah, we'll put it out on social media and get it going.
We'll see how you did.
Not good, probably.
Yeah. Well, if you're half as good as your defense has been the last couple of years, it's going to be a good episode.
I hope it's that good.
Happy football season, man.
August 1st.
Yeah, great. Unbelievable. And what a great day here, huh?
This is awesome. What a great setup. 3 levels. Kids are able to spread out and do so many different things, and it's kind of like a kickoff for them too. Our guys are super excited. We got several guys that had never been a part of anything like this, so it's really cool.
That's good for them, and that's kind of part of this too, right? I think we're not just hyping up high school football, which we should here in Northeast Florida, Southeast Georgia. It's so good, but it's a great experience for the kids to have some fun, let loose during a busy time and a kind of a stressful time and a tough time, and they're tired, but they can let loose, but also get in front of microphones and cameras and get used to that part of it. Doesn't seem like the kids are as afraid of those microphones and cameras as they used to be.
Oh, no way. Yeah, I mean, they spend all day talking to somebody or, on social media, tweeting out something, or, on Facebook live or whatever it is nowadays. Yeah, they're a lot better than they used to be.
It is so true. I mean, you really do. You interview the kids now. I used to say in our business, it was the most difficult interview you would do.
To try to pull something
out of a kid that's not there. I mean, at least still have some quiet kids, but overall, these kids know how to talk in front of a microphone because of the last 10, 12, 15 years of social media, in my opinion. You guys know how to play defense. You've been so good. I know that's been the headline story. You've been good on offense, too, but your defense has been the headliner. Are you going to be similar? Do you have to worry about trying to live up to what you've already done the last 2 years?
Well, we talked to our kids about it. The ride over, we talked about it. People are going to talk about our defense, and it has been super special. Don't get me wrong. The last couple groups have really, I've never seen a group of kids work towards a goal of shutting teams out and things like it. It was so important to them. The day-to-day film watching, the weightlifting, everything. It was incredible to watch them to want to. That was a goal for them. And then it started talking about, hey, let's don't let them cross midfield. Hey, let's start talking about maybe just a couple first downs a game. But it was them. They led that. And you hear this as cliche, but the player-led teams are the great teams.
Absolutely.
If a coach has to lead all the time and try to get people excited about playing the game, it's not going to do that. And the one thing with our guys in Bradford, they like to hit each other. Like, they enjoy even hitting each other in practice, so they're definitely going to like hitting other people on Friday night. So, and you can't teach physicality. You really can't. You can practice physical, but if a kid's not physical, it's hard to pull that out of him. And we've been fortunate to have physical kids that really love to play defense.
All right, give your offense some love then. What do you got on that side of the ball?
Yeah, absolutely. We return a lot of people. Big 55, Jacob Ferguson's Old Dominion commit, 16, Jeremiah McKenzie. He can play anywhere. He just committed to Central Michigan yesterday. And Brian Clifton, I think he's got 22 on over there, running back, linebacker. Our guys are unselfish. They like to play both ways. They want to put the best product out there, and they work extremely hard. This group's probably the most disciplined group I had, top to bottom. We probably don't have the 5 Division I kids that we had last year. We'll see. Though a couple of them have a chance to go on, but overall, this group is super, super disciplined.
You were taking a look at your team plan. Yeah. I did this earlier with, I think, Coach McIntyre. Who's your best ping pong player, probably?
Probably 40. Probably Reese.
All right.
Reese Wainwright, inside linebacker. He's probably the best. What's great about high school football, Brent? That kid, he probably could have transferred a few miles down the road in every direction and probably played a lot, but he didn't. He stayed with his core group of guys that he grew up with and waited his turn. He played behind Chasen Clark, who's an unbelievable football player, early enrollee to Marshall. He got to play. He's played a lot of snaps and had a lot of experience, but he waited his turn, and now he's the starting inside linebacker for us. And there's something to be said for that.
Well, there's something to be said for that, and part of that is playing in Bradford.
Yes,
and we're far. I feel like we're far away. We don't get to. Not everybody gets to go out there.
Yeah.
You can, if you're a Jacksonville high school football fan, you can pop over to Mandarin or Trinity or wherever. Yeah. It's a little harder to get out to Bradford, but tell us what it's like, because you got fireworks going off. Oh. You've had obviously a lot of wins. Like, is the town still buzzing about what's about to come here in these next few weeks? And just give us a sense of it.
Yeah, I think they're more excited now than they have been. I think it kind of snuck up on them. I'll be honest with you, it snuck up on me when I watched the film when I took the job. I knew they had talent. I knew the guys could run around. I knew that the physicality wasn't a problem. But I didn't expect, 26-3 over the last couple of years. I didn't see that coming. And I don't think the town did either. And now that's kind of the expectation, which when you get that expectation, the buzz is starting, the Booster Club's out raising money, and, we're having, the fire truck come the last day of workouts and just sprayed water off, so the kids basically have a fun day with water slides and stuff like that. And that's what's different now. Like, it's they are excited, and a Friday night in Bradford right now is super special.
That's really cool.
You know, the fireworks, and that's the Booster Club that's committed to have an atmosphere like that. You know, we got the Jumbotron where the kid makes a big play. He comes up doing the little thing they had on media day or photo day or whatever it is, and it's that, I'll be honest with you, that doesn't have a whole lot to do with me. I'm not that guy. I like to coach football, but there's people around us in the right positions. Our AD does a great job. Our principal's awesome. Superintendents, they're all pushing and pulling our guys in the right direction, and they all add to that game night atmosphere. I mean, the playoffs last year was unbelievable. It was so packed, and then to reach the state championship hadn't been done there since 1965, 66. We had a couple cool pictures. The center from the 1966 state championship team took a picture after the state semifinals game with our center who wore the same number.
That's cool.
That stuff's cool.
That's awesome.
Like, you can't.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
It really is.
And,
like, if you haven't been in high school sports or around it, or your kids are young, you'll find out. Right?
Yes.
A lot of high school sports are like that, but specifically football, and especially in a place like Bradford.
Yeah, that's right. It's a community-driven thing. When it's good, it's really good. And right now, the people, the folks in our community, the businesses stepped up so big. I tell people all the time, they raised $20,000 in 1 week, state championship week. In a small community, that's hard to do. I mean, there's not a ton of businesses.
Yeah.
But to help us with the state championship week, and they've not stopped. They just give, and they want to see our young people do well.
All right, one last one. I got to ask you. You've been in another great place, and that's Baker County. And you're going. I mean, you know that place really well.
Yeah, I still live there.
I still live there.
Yeah.
What is? I'm not sure you go in the grocery store right before week one. I don't know, but
won't be in there that first week.
What is that going to be? It's our game of the week, by the way, to start things off.
Cool.
On our Friday Night Blitz and our new Friday Night Blitz zone coverage that we're going to have from 8 to midnight. So we'll be live looking into that game in week number one. Yeah. I know you probably are like, hey, this isn't about me.
Yeah.
But it's also two very good, prideful football programs and towns. I mean, what is that game going to be like?
Oh, man, I mean, what I just laid out for a Friday night in Bradford, it's always been that way in Baker, right? I'm from there, played there in the late 90s, still live there, go to church there. That I have no animosity at all. Yeah. And probably outside of week one, very few people do one way or the other. You know, I'm still in that community all the time. My kids go to school there. So, but what it is, it's what high school football is about. Two towns shutting down, everybody from Bradford being there and packing this. They'll be there the game's at 7. Our stands will be full at 6. There won't be anywhere else to sit on Bradford side. Same thing on Baker side. And, I'll probably get the student section will probably be on me a little bit, booing me, and that's okay. That's what it's about. That's high school football. And it's two really good programs that'll get to compete in the first game of the year, which is special also. You know, that's they call it the blood rival from years ago. That's a lot of family members are like my brother moved to Bradford early on. He was there for 30 years while I was a player and a coach there. So, but you have a lot of that families that are one set of the family lives in Baker, one set lives in Bradford, and it's a unique situation. And to play at week one is a lot of fun.
Yeah, what a way to start the football season here in 2024. Jamie Rogers, thanks for hanging around, man. Talking to us. Good luck this year. Going to be fun to watch and always fun to visit with. That is Jamie Rogers here on our special edition or special hour of the Brent and Austen Show. You want to take a quick? You want to get him in? Let's go. Come on, Webber.
Go like 5, try to hit 9:55. So we hit that break and start back up.
All right, sounds good. Bold City Football, newest football team in town.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Coach?
Coach Jordan.
Coach Jordan, Brent Martineau, nice to see you.
Yes, sir. Nice to be here.
This is part of the day. This is part of what we get. We get people cycling in here, and it's the first time we've met. Now we get the old guys like Jamie Rogers, has been around for a long time.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about this one of the newest logos we've got in town.
Yes, sir. So we're KIPP Bold City High School. We're off McDuff. The KIPP Jacks, the region has been here since 2010. K-8 started the high school 2021. This is our first year rolling out football. We had, other sports, basketball, volleyball, track, cheerleading. Now we're adding soccer, football, cross country, and girls flag football. So we're building, we're growing.
Yeah, we're building pretty quick.
Yeah,
it sounds like. And what's that like for you as kind of you get to help be the architect of this football program?
Yeah, I love it. It's a responsibility. I enjoy learning as well. Having a growth mindset, bringing on a staff. Building a staff, building the athletic department. I'm an assistant AD as well.
Wow.
So I'm assisting him with, all things Kip Bowl City, athletics. And it's good. It's good. It's good for the kids. I mean, I'm here for the kids. Everything I do sitting here, I'm doing it for the kids. I don't really like to do interviews. I don't really like being in the front of anything. I like to work behind the scenes. So I enjoy it.
So Kip Bowl City, what's the mission or where you guys want to get to?
Okay.
And how big are you right now?
As far
as a school,
we have,
and as a football program,
we have right now 526 students, 9 through 12.
Is that where you want to hang out, or you want to get bigger?
We want to get to 720 this year.
Okay,
and then by next 2 years, we want to be at 1,000.
Wow. Okay, so you want to keep growing. How about football wise? When you have 526, I think you said. How much does that put on the sideline for a football game?
So right now on the official roster, we have 58. We have 36 showing up consistently because summer, you have everybody with these responsibilities. So I understand that, working with the parents.
Yeah.
So by the time we, kick off with Reigns, we should have all 58. And we may have a few more. So there's interest. You have to be consistent.
Yeah, 58, by the way, would be pretty good.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good number for year one. I don't know who made your schedule. You're starting off with Reigns?
Yes, sir. We want to be competitive. The schedule says exactly what we want. We want to compete.
So you want the kids to see it.
Yep.
Right?
Experience.
If you take some lumps along the way,
exactly.
You want them to see what it looks like, what it's supposed to look like.
Yes, sir.
Which is a good message. How does it look so far from the summer workouts to what you envision, what you might have out on the field?
Right. So in the spring, because we started in the spring, it was a little rough because we had attrition setting.
Yeah.
We started out with 56.
Got to weed people out.
We got down to 32, and then we got down to 25.
Wow.
Summer, started to build those numbers back up, and then, they drop off a little bit due to vacations and other obligations, but it's looking how I thought it would.
All right.
The progression is there. I can see the growth. Guys are getting stronger. They're getting faster. They're getting mentally tough. The academics. That's the other side. We're starting to fall. So we got to keep that GPA up. Because I have a standard 2.5 GPA. We want to be head and shoulders above what everybody else is doing. So that's my approach.
That's great. Good stuff. I think it's a good mission, and it seems pretty clear. So the kids know that, and they get that from you, and we look forward to seeing your football program on the field.
Yes,
Coach
sir.
Jordan, appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Kip Bowl City Football. I like the logo, too. It's a good logo. It's going to be fun to watch. We have a couple of different schools. We talk about Impact Christian, and then there are some other ones that are starting up like it's new to us, too. We're going to have to get used to some of it, but some new football programs in the area. Stuart mentioned earlier the SSAC versus FHSAA. We've had some fluctuation there, and of course now the new classifications as well. All right, we got a lot more guests to go, a lot of teams popping by and stopping by, and we've got 3 more hours of it. Let's play a little table tennis, let's talk some football, let's have some fun. It's Baker Sports Media Day right here on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 Network. We all have our favorite spots in town to eat, drink, and have a good time. And once in a while, we try a new spot. This new spot will soon become your favorite spot. It's 1937 Spirits and Eatery in San Marco. Where else can you get unicorn fish? It was really good. They have local fresh seafood. Try a terrific burger or a Jack's Hot Chicken sandwich. The ambiance is perfect for any occasion. The idea here is to have fun, have a good time. Whether you're chilling out on the couches, cozying up to the bar, having lunch or dinner, it's a throwback experience. 1937, when going out to dinner was like going to a party. They even have a photo booth. Who doesn't like a good photo booth? We recently brought the entire team out to try it, and everyone said, I'm bringing my significant other here to try it as well. The new spot becomes your favorite spot. Make 1937 Spirits and Eatery in San Marco your new favorite spot.
What started out as better people, better projects just keeps getting, well, better. That's Better Exterior Solutions, ready to help you create a better outdoor experience. Check this out. Motorized pergolas are the latest in technology to transform your outdoor space. Beautiful day? Let the sun shine through. Summer rainstorm? These pergola systems close automatically to keep the weather out. From residential to commercial uses, Better Exterior Solutions has products customized to meet virtually any existing architectural structure. With retractable awnings, screens, and hurricane shutters too, if you want unparalleled quality and expertise, you need Better Exterior Solutions. Get a free estimate by visiting betterexteriors.com or calling 904-902-4999. Better Exterior Solutions. Experience better.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242. You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing. Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 143-2579.
The friendliest golf course in town, the Golf Club at Southampton. Local golfers have no shortage of options when it comes to picking a course to play here in Northeast Florida year-round. Yet time and time again, I find myself here at the Golf Club at Southampton. Easy to get to off 210 in St. Johns County. It's family-owned and operated and renowned for being one of the area's most player-friendly. That's just one of the reasons we hold the Action Sports Jacks Dream 18 charity golf tournament here each fall. The Mark McCumber design layout is great for all skill levels of golfers, from the guys who bomb it a mile on the range to golfers like me who are just happy to put it in the fairway, which Southampton has very accommodating fairways. And if you need new clubs, come down to the pro shop. They'll fit you up and get you a nice new set, like they did for me. For more information on membership or to book a tee time and see for yourself, head over to golfsouthampton.com or call the clubhouse at 904-287-7529. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the official home of the Action Sports Jacks Dream 18. Make it your home for golf too.
It's the place we party in football season with Jaguars All Access. Welcome to String Sports Brewery, everybody. Say hello to our guest tonight. That is Trevor Lawrence. You can bring your party or event to String Sports Brewery in Springfield any day and any time. Rehearsal dinners, corporate events, birthdays. Here at Strings, you can enjoy the inside area and the outside area. Good for any weather, good for any occasion. Watch the games, play the games, shoot some hoops. Beer? Yeah, they have that. Plenty of choices. And sure, this is a brewery, but Strings is also a restaurant, and the food is fantastic. A full menu made from scratch meals. And if you need String Sports Brewery to help with a party at your place, they cater too. Family, beer, food, sports. Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Well, there's a look at the big jumbotrons, the video boards at Everbank Stadium as they're getting that field prepped for a Saturday practice. And also a week from Saturday, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Jacksonville Jaguars. What a beautiful shot. Thanks to Casey Kurtz for helping us out as well today from High School Media Day. And thanks to Baker Sports, Jaguars Prep, for putting this on as the kids get just a heck of an experience here at Everbank. I mean, there are only, 30 places in the country that could even do this for their high school football players because of the NFL. And we are one of them. Baker Sports has done a great job. They've partnered up with Jaguars Prep, who has also done a great job of elevating and amplifying high school football in the area and really youth sports, but girls flag football too. So there's a lot of tentacles to this. But really, one of the biggest shout-outs to Baker Sports They've been doing this for a long, long time, and now what a great partnership to be able to put what they've done, and now with Jaguars Prep in a place like this, and 3 floors again of High School Media Day, and we are here on the 3rd floor in the corner. We're watching the kids play ping pong. We're watching the kids play college football 25. We're getting the kids for some IDs and separate interviews over here. We've had many coaches roll through. In fact, Coach Sean McIntyre from Creekside, Bobby Ramsey, Andrew Jackson, Seatric Faison from Fletcher, Jamie Rogers from Bradford, D'Angelo Jordan from the new KIP Bold City Football, also stopping by, all in the first hour, which was a bonus hour. We usually start the Brent and Austen show at 10 o'clock. We started at 9 o'clock this morning, and just to let everybody know that you're usually in here for our show, the Jags are off today. Obviously, college football gets going, and high school football started this week, and this is kind of high school football's day around here for us. So we will continue to talk a lot of high school football, rotate coaches in until 1 o'clock today. Austin gave him the day off. I said, hey, go train, because he announced his fight. So we got to get ready to win a fight in the UFC on October 19th. And so we'll be back at the normal stuff tomorrow, but this is going to be very high school centric. For everyone that usually jumps on the Brent and Austen show each and every day. We'd love to keep you along, have at it. What's your alma mater? Did you play football? What position? Share some of your stories throughout the day. Maybe we can give it a little bit of a shout in the chat. Hamby, you jump in here too right now, because you got in there a little bit early for us and actually working a little extra this week for us to be here. You're a baseball guy. You did not play football, right? Or did you at all when you were a kid?
No, I did not play football, although Providence head coaches did want me to come out, but it was not allowed.
You were not allowed, and Mom and Dad said no go?
No, it wasn't the parents, it was baseball coaches.
Oh, that's right. I think we remember having that discussion. I'm totally different. I did not want to play. I did want to play, but I chickened out to play every time. I was tiny. And I was like, I think I could go kick. I think I could go play receiver. And I was like, nah, not going to do it. Every time I got close.
It's still one of the biggest regrets I have is not playing.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
It is one of your biggest regrets.
100%.
Well, at least you didn't have to go through those 2-a-days or summer workouts or anything like that if you were to play. But are you any good at the college football 25 though?
I've played 3 or 4 times, and I think all those kids over there in that corner would probably kick my butt. But back in 2012, I think I'd have my way.
All right. Hey, we got another coach jumping in here. Kevin Mays, Baker County, and well, here we go. This has been perfect. We just had Jamie in from Bradford, and then right here we got the week 1 matchup.
Yeah, we're ready to go. Everybody looks forward to that one.
Yeah, no doubt. And if you haven't been to McClenny and Baker County to watch a high school football game, it's our PSA every year. You got to go check it out.
Especially that week. That week will be. That'll be get there early.
Yeah, get there really early. Yeah. That's going to feel a little bit like a playoff game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a fun time. Our kids get excited about it. As a coach, to me, you kind of worry about an important game that early. But Baker and Bradford go way back, way before me. Even Jamie, who he was a hometown guy for Baker, goes way back, and it's a fun rivalry. But both teams really want to win.
Yeah. How do you like your football team? You guys usually have a good, solid football team, but on that level that you guys expect, where are you guys at?
Yeah, we had a really good summer. Kids were coming in, and I've got a lot of experience coming back. The guys that I brought here today. Philip Jackson, Davion Dean, Seth Chestnut, Kel Cruz, Case Foster. They've all been 2-year starters for me on defense. This will be their 3rd year, so I've got a lot of experience there. Offense a little younger. They're going to have to play catch up to the defense, but I like what I got.
Yeah, you should. Those are some good names that you just mentioned. We got them all over our Friday night coverage, I feel like, on a lot of different highlights. Brent Martineau along here. Kevin Mays of Baker County at Baker Sports Media Day. Unrelated, by the way, in the 2 Bakers at Everbank Stadium. You said you had a really good summer. What constitutes that?
One's the commitment from the players and the buy-in. And when you have a group like some of the names I just said, and there's other guys on the team too, when they lead the way to the 9th and 10th graders coming up, they say, okay, this is how it's done. And that just constitutes a good thing of just their leadership and what they were the role models for these kids to come. And you ask them, listen, I won't waste a bunch of your time, but if you give me 2 hours in the morning and give me effort, I'll get you out of here right at 2 hours. And they all committed to that. And to me, that's what makes for a good summer.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes a lot of sense to be able to do that. All right, all the new stuff around high school football. There's something new. It seems like every year, new in every couple of years. We'll get to the schedule. Leave that up for us, Andy. We'll get to that schedule in just a moment. But from classifications and districts difference to NIL, to what's got your attention as a coach?
I would have liked to have said suburban metro, just for the fact that, what was it, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we got down to the Final Four. When we went and played Miami Central, I have Baker County kids. That's all I play with, Baker County kids. I don't have them moving in. I don't have them moving out. But how many thousands of kids can move into Miami Central? So that made a lot of sense to me for a community like ours. Then I don't have much to say about it because I don't know. I haven't looked into it as far as what does that mean, how's that work. I'm not a big fan of it for high school kids. I'd like them to go to high school and worry about high school, not worry about big boy problems.
Yeah, they got enough on their plate.
Yeah, not a huge fan of it. But those are, for the things you mentioned, that's kind of my opinion about those things. The new alignments and stuff, I'm not happy with our district, not for who we're playing, just for travel. We go to Godby, Wakulla, and Suwannee. And then you got to add a couple other games in. Travel expenses get up, and I don't know if people worry about that with kind of us between Jacksonville and Tallahassee. We kind of get pushed one way or the other depending on where they need the numbers, and it just kind of hurts us, with that kind of stuff. To me, there's enough schools east of us that we could have been in a district where a little more convenient for us.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because it's something I noticed too, and you guys are a great example. There are a couple of schools that usually fall in. It's like, wait a minute, are they even in Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Right? That's not a Jacksonville district, right?
Yeah.
Or that doesn't feel like a community district or even an area district. I know it is probably mileage-wise, the way they separate things, but it is pretty interesting.
Well, and I'm the AD too, so, I was looking at districts yesterday. I hadn't looked at some of them, but like our soccer districts all go down to like Menendez. So this way to Menendez. And then wrestling's kind of Nassau County-ish. And then football, we go, like I said, it's Godby, Suwannee, and Wakulla, which is a tough district. But, it's going to take us 2 hours to get to Godby and 2 hours to get to Wakulla, and that's just for a district game.
Yeah.
And then
that's a late Friday night coming home.
We've been a regional finalist last 4 years. When you add, and I say that just to say, when you add that travel expense onto a high school athletic budget, it's tough because you got to travel far. The Miami Central, we spent $18,000 just in buses to get down there. So, and that's just complaints that I have with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and it happens, and probably rightful. All right, take a look. You know your schedule. I'm looking at it right here. Obviously, we talked Bradford, and then after that, some notable ones. You'll play at Ponte Vedra, so you will come here. You mentioned the district games. What jumps out to your schedule where you're going to know if you're pretty good or not? I get week one, but week one you don't necessarily know if you're good or not. There's a lot of runway still before the end of the season. Is there a time in this schedule you're like, hey, it's time to turn it loose and be who we are?
It's tough. It's tough for Baker County to make a schedule because, one, I think the new ranking systems, which has its pluses,
yes, it does.
They have put a lot of emphasis just on winning. When it was a district champ and runner-up, teams would reach out and challenge themselves because, as long as I'm 1 or 2 in the district, I could challenge myself. And when I was at other places, I did that because you wanted to get ready for the playoffs. Now they put so much emphasis on that win that it's tougher for a team, and not bragging about our team, but again, we've had a lot of success playoff-wise. People look at your schedule and see how far you gone. I ain't playing you.
Yeah.
So it was tough for us to make a schedule. We've got to play a lot of bigger teams. But if you look at, Palm Bay's coming up here. That's actually where I graduated from. Mike DeGore, who played for the Gators, coached with me, and me and him are good friends. So he got that together. Ponte Vedra, a bigger school, that concerns you. Their numbers compared to our numbers. First Coast, me and Marty, we've known each other a little bit, and that just worked out. Baldwin's a good game, too. That's become a pretty good rival for us, too, right down the road for us.
They've elevated their program,
and Satellite's a friend of mine. That's another farther trip. We go down to Brevard, play Satellite. That's where I came from. But 2.5 hour trip's not what I wanted. But you can't. The only other calls you were getting were for state championship teams. You can't load your schedule with that.
You can't do it.
So the schedule's tough. I had a week 11 game, and that somebody canceled, and Denellen called, and again, maybe a tougher game than I want to play week 11, but the other option were St. Thomas Aquinas and American Heritage and the IMG, and so we saw
you get beat up in those games potentially too.
Yeah,
I mean you get beat up in this one too.
Yeah, and you don't want to run into that right before hopefully trying to make a playoff run. So it's probably a tougher schedule than I wanted, but it's all I could find, and our kids are ready for it.
Feels like Baker County University Christian have been in the same boat sometimes. We're trying to build that schedule. It's one of the hardest things you guys do.
It is.
When you have a successful program.
Now, like you said, the only plus I get is people like coming to Baker County and playing because the atmosphere's fun.
Yeah. That's a good point. We like going there too.
Yeah.
Kevin Mace, Baker County, good luck this season.
Right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by. And again, our game of the week 1, Bradford, Baker County with the Friday Night Blitz and our new expanded coverage. The Zone Blitz starts at 8 o'clock. We will take live looks. If you haven't heard yet, we'll continue to tell you about it. Here's what we're doing on our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. This will be on social media as well on Friday night. It's going to be like I think nobody else is doing, at least I know around here, but I don't think a lot of people are doing anything like this across the country. We found something of its sorts, if you will, but that's here nor there. The bottom line is what we're doing is starting at 8 o'clock, going until about 10:30. We will show live looks as long as those games are going for about a handful of games. And that will be played on social media on our new Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. We will have reporters, cameras out there, of course. We'll have other highlights from earlier games that start at 6:30 and 7 o'clock. And then that leads right into our Friday Night Blitz, which is our normal blitz that we've done on Fox 30 over the years. And that will also play on the network. And then we'll have our band segment from 11 to 11:15. 11:15, we'll do another edition of the Friday Night Blitz. And then we'll have a Blitz overtime, 11:35 to midnight. So that's when Kyle Doherty will check out what we're doing on Action Sports Jacks and our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. The midnight session, probably right there, after the big games. And welcome in our Yulee coach, Coach Doherty, and thanks for stopping by. And,
thank you.
Man, what a fun season you guys had a year ago. It was fun talking to you a couple of times about what you guys were doing.
Yeah, it was exciting. Last year was a big year for us. Finishing 8-2 in the regular season, we tied our school record in wins for a regular season. Awesome. We had 2 home playoff games. I mean, it hasn't happened in a long time for us at Yulee. And just being able to do that and love that group of seniors. They were a bunch of kids that worked really hard and just believed in it for 3 years. And, having football love them back and pay them back, that season and having those memories was awesome. It was awesome to have.
So what does that mean now going forward? You said you had a lot of seniors. That means you lose a lot of seniors, but they set a standard that will hopefully trickle down to those younger guys.
That's the hope, right? You hope that the younger guys see the success and want to strive to be at that level all the time. I think we're there. I think we've built upon a good foundation to put us in those situations. Our kids work hard. They know the expectations of what we're trying to accomplish. So far, the first 2 days of practice, it looks like we execute pretty decent football. That's not where we want to be yet, but from like a first 2 day standpoint of when you're in practice, it looks like we play football. We don't
could be worse.
There's a lot of things that could be worse. It looks like you play football. Like there's moments of football that happen every day of practice so far. So that's the real positive sign. It looks like we're in, our ceiling is much, or our floor is much higher than probably years before, but just because of where we're starting from now. Our kids understand a year-round program, and really the hurdle we have to overcome is how mature we're going to be throughout the season. We played 15 freshmen in the spring game.
Wow.
And a good player that's coming in is a freshman, and he's going to play a lot of meaningful downs for us. He's going to touch the ball a bit, and it's how well can he mature and handle that load and still be a good, suitable teammate for his team and make plays in the moments that we give him.
Yeah.
Our quarterback's going to be a sophomore. It's like we're young in a lot of spots, and how they mature is really going to be kind of where we go off of that.
Yeah, handle the ups and downs of the season, right?
Yeah, like that. It's always going to happen. You're always going to face adversity. So, it's tougher to face adversity with kids in meaningful spots that are, sophomores and freshmen, because how many times have they had those moments in those big games?
Absolutely. Kyle Doherty with us, Yulee head football coach. Yulee has grown so much. I've been in town now 16 years, so I actually now have a reference point. I used to do this and be like, what's going on? Where's Yulee? All that stuff. But no, I got a good reference point, and you know it, and everybody out there knows it, and I'm not sure everybody's happy about all that growth out in Yulee either. I mean, it's just so different. I don't know if Jacksonville knows it, or a lot of people that listen to us or watch us, like if they haven't been up to Yulee recently. I mean, it is booming and growing. But with that comes an influx, I think, of talents for sports and schools. And
we get a lot of new kids pretty frequently. We get a lot of military kids actually, because most people that are on base then come live in Yulee.
Okay.
Because we're so close to that border.
Yeah.
So we do have a big influx of kids. Like there is some transition. We also lose some kids because of that military. Like there's a kid that I don't know, where he would be at now, but I know that he on our depth chart, but he was a good football player and he had to move to Oklahoma or Kansas. And he was just a young kid that we had him his freshman, sophomore year, his junior, senior year because the military had to move. So that there's gives and takes in that all the time. But Wildlight is booming. I mean, I think they're playing as like 5,000 new homes.
Wow.
In 10 years or something like that. It's insanity how quickly that is growing.
Yeah, and you guys have kept people there too. I mean, Yulee's been rated a little bit over the years too, and now you're probably keeping more of that talent and good folks there. Give us a little bit more of your background of how you got there.
So before Yulee, I was a coach at Rockledge. I was assistant coach. I ran the offense, coached all the special teams. Our head coach was Wayne Younger. We had a lot of really good seasons. There's a lot of talented football players that are playing in college right now that we got to coach. Ladarius Tennyson is a big one right now, and his mom lives in Yulee now.
How about that?
He's playing for UCF. We got some kids that I coached at Rhode Island, a couple kids at Iowa State. There's probably like 4 kids that I coached at UCF.
Wow,
I think.
Wow.
I mean, they're just all over. There's a kid that's at Florida Gators. We had a really talented roster at Rockledge. There were a lot of really talented kids. We had a lot of success. In that we, every year came down to us, Cardinal Gibbons, American Heritage in the playoffs. That was kind of our last game in those playoff runs. And then when Yulee came open, I took an opportunity. I was looking to become a head coach, and they were the one to give me a shot.
Yeah, well, it's been a good move. Coming off a fantastic year. Good luck this year as well, and trying to keep that train rolling, man.
Yeah, man.
In a good spot. We appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you so much.
All right, make sure you give us a buzz now after those wins on Friday night.
Oh, will do.
Kyle Doherty, he's awesome, and he's done a great job with the Yulee Hornets program that's really changed over the years, but obviously a lot of upside as well when you factor it in. And here's Yulee's schedule, by the way. I think they start with Inglewood in the Jamboree game. So nice job, man. You're doing a good job getting these schedules up there. And I didn't see that right away, so I wish I did. I would have gone over the schedule with Coach Kyle Doherty if I had. Maybe we get Inglewood's schedule up. You can work on that. How about that, Hamby, back there? Because right now we have Kevin Johnson, who joins us as the Inglewood coach. Coach, I'm going to slide you over here a little bit more so we don't leave you off the screen. There you go. There you go. You're looking good. How are you, man?
I'm doing well.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
And we just had coaching. You guys are going to match up in the Jamboree a little bit.
Yes, sir. Yes,
see
sir.
what you got. What do you have?
I think we're going to be pretty good this year. We got a good senior heavy team, a lot of returners. We got a really good quarterback.
Oh, yes.
So we're just looking to go out and execute and play well this year.
Yeah, it's funny. We've your name has come up already in the first hour and a half a little bit. Inglewood, and they're like, hey, look out. I mean, people are starting to notice a little bit, right? And it's been a road now.
Yeah,
There's been ups and downs.
Absolutely.
But it's been a road, and it looks like you guys are in a pretty good place.
I think the biggest thing that the difference of our team this year based on previous years, last year we had a really successful season, 6-4, first winning season in 17 years. So I think with this group, our leadership is just different. We got a different group of leaders. And I think that's going to really be the catalyst of us playing well, because it's not just the coach to player accountability, it's the peer-to-peer accountability.
Absolutely.
And I think we got a really good peer-to-peer accountability this season. So our off season was great. We had the most attendance in weightlifting. We had the most attendance in conditioning. So, I expect us to be successful.
Yeah, it's interesting. We keep hearing, we get a lot of coaches in, and that peer-to-peer or player-led is what a lot of coaches talk about when you 100%. Get that. You feel like your program is in a pretty good spot, culture-wise, standard-wise, where you're going.
Right.
The one other thing you guys have had to battle over the years, and a lot of schools have, not just in Duval County, but I would say more in Duval County, is hey, you feel like you got a kid, and then he's gone and transferring somewhere else.
Right.
When you have a season like 6-4,
right.
When you have what you're talking about,
right,
it's a little bit easier to keep, right, and maintain. I'm not saying it's the easiest thing these days to keep anybody,
100%.
But do you have more people staying than you did?
This is my second year as head coach, so we've been blessed to not lose any of our core guys over the offseason.
Okay, good.
I think that possibility is always out there where people see our team now as being somewhat successful and having a good flow of college football players coming out. I think sometimes we seem to be an attractive place to try to poach some kids.
Yeah.
So, I just try to do my best job in keeping the kids engaged, keeping the brotherhood mentality. We're a family, so they bond together. So it's not a transactional type of experience. You're not just coming just to play football. You're coming to learn how to be a man. You're coming to learn about accountability, discipline, some of those things that we teach that makes us successful in life. So I think that's what kind of keeps a lot of my boys together.
Well, that's great, and you got to do that. You got to be a place they want to be.
Yeah,
right. No doubt about it. Or you can quickly go somewhere else these 100%. Days. It's just whether we like it or not. It's the nature of it.
Right.
Listen, with Coach Johnson from Inglewood. I got a weird question for you, and I have no idea what the answer will be, and that's why I ask it. You guys put a new field in a few years ago, and Duval County's doing a great job of putting turf fields in at various schools, and it's really cool. We've seen Riverside and others to the like. Has that helped? Do you think that helps the program?
100%. I think the field is something that's attractive. I think it gives a parent a sense of security that to know their kids are playing on a safe surface. I remember being in high school. I remember playing at Inglewood and some of the fields around the city. When it rains, I mean, the fields are in shape that's not, safe in my opinion. So I think having the turf field, is a good attractor for kids because they want to play on the turf field. They want to play on nice stuff. But secondly, I just think it's safer when it's not raining. When it's raining, bro, our fields around here get really bad.
They do. And listen, I mean, the bottom line is maybe it's materialistic. Maybe it's just new shiny toy. Maybe whatever it is. But it's a feel good. It feels like they're invested in the program, too.
100%.
So there's just a little – it may be more of a subconscious to answer. I'll help answer my own question. Might be a little bit more of a subconscious. But I think we're seeing it in Duval County. And it's a great mission, by the way, in Duval County to be able to put these from a maintenance issue and, like you said, a safety issue.
Yeah, but I think facilities matter. And, just think about being recruited. Like kids, especially our top recruited kids, they want to go to schools where they have great facilities.
Yeah.
So if I know my kid is going to a school where the weight room looks nice, the field looks nice, people like nice things, like look good, feel good, play good.
Absolutely.
So I think that psyche behind things, kind of helps contribute to the success too as well.
Speaking of looking good, I like these shorts.
Yeah.
Is this new or have you guys had these?
My brother actually makes these shorts. Jimmy Hackley, who used to be a runner for Rains High School.
Okay.
So it's his company that
you got to stand up a little bit, maybe, so the camera gets it.
Yeah.
So the Inglewood all across. I like that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give my brother a plug.
I like it.
JimmyHack.com. You can find him. Yes.
Okay. Hey, one last thing before we let you go. We'll get your schedule up, and sorry if it's a little small, we can't read it, but
no, it's fine.
What's your take on your schedule as we're showcasing it?
I think we can be really, really good this year. I think our schedule is a little tougher than it was last year, and I did that intentionally just to put our guys in a better position to try to get into the playoffs. I think last year we went 6-4. We had a game when we played Terry Parker where we could have went 7-3 and could have possibly pushed us in, but we lose that game at home, and this is a game that haunts our kids, really, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? So we're trying to be more focused and more disciplined in our schedule, and we just want to play each week 1 week at a time.
Good deal. Well, you got a pretty good one. You start off with Baldwin. Obviously, they've built their program very nice. From Ed White jumps out at me, and of course, Riverside should be very talented and good, all the way down to Bobby Ramsey and Jackson. And oh, by the way, you'll end with Parker again.
Right. Well, we got Wilson last. Wilson.
Okay, Wilson's last. There's one more on there.
Yeah. So we got Jackson. So we got some good teams on the schedule, and I want to put Inglewood back in the forefront of one of the better programs, like when I played. So from '96 to 2000, we went to the playoffs 3 out of the 4 years I was in high school. So that's the goal that I have for our program, is to get us back in that forefront of playoff contention.
Yeah, well, you're doing a heck of a job. Looks like you're on the way there, and there's a lot of tradition and pride at Inglewood.
100%.
And all you got to do is go down the list of players that have come.
Yeah.
You're talking about, but from Rasheed Mathis to the baseball side of things to others. So it's good to see Inglewood back where they should be.
Yeah, Rasheed, he was a senior when I was a junior. I played at the University of Missouri. We got Toby, the head coach at Mandarin, played at Marshall. My receiver, Carlos Owsley, one of the best receivers in our area all time, and he played at the University of Arkansas. So we had some dudes. We definitely had some dudes back then.
They were loaded up, but you started this with saying something really significant. First time in 17 years a winning season.
100%.
I mean, that's hard to do now.
100%.
We talk about this team here in Jacksonville trying to get over the hump right on the NFL side.
Right.
It's hard to do, especially with all new schools and big schools popping up and everything else that happened along the way.
Right.
So that is no small task. Hope you keep building on it, man.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate
Thank you for having me. Yep.
Kevin Johnson, Inglewood head coach, and cool shorts, too, by the way. I have to get some Action Sports Shacks ones. I think he said jimmyhack.com. I'm going to have to go check that out. Hey, let's do this. Let's take a timeout for a minute, and we will come back and talk more with all these coaches and maybe some players, but the coaches have been the ones stop by. We'll let the players have some fun off to the side with our other camera and ping pong and college football 25. Look at this setup. What a setup for these kids right here in Jacksonville at Everbank, where the Jacksonville Jaguars play. Few, if any, do it better for a high school media day than Baker Sports Media Day and the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll take a break. We'll be right back right after this. In Northeast Florida, we love hanging out on the back patio, maybe grilling out lunch or dinner with the family, enjoying the good weather, or maybe enjoying the big game on the TV. Or maybe your favorite team in town, the Action Sports Jacks team. This is great, except for when it's really hot or the bugs start coming out. But what if you didn't have to worry about that? Titan Outdoor Solutions will make your outdoor area a comfortable spot any time of the day, any time of the year. This makes too much sense. Titan Outdoor Solutions can give your home an upgrade. Customized pergolas, awnings, controlled shade, even retractable screens. The solution to beating the heat and the bugs and getting more use out of your home is Titan Outdoor Solutions. And this can even help prevent storm damage at your home. Living in Florida and living in your home is already good. Now make it great. Quality products, custom work, locally owned and operated. Visit TitanShuttersAndScreens.com or call 904-484-7580.
People helping people is at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From 1954 to 2024, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. That commitment includes a partnership with the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team as the presenting sponsor of all Armada men's and women's broadcasts this summer. Action Sports Jacks and Alive Credit Union, a partnership that just makes sense when it comes to covering Northeast Florida. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of our first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Right now, you can save $1,000 or more when you bundle the Connecticut Premier Softener with a Connecticut K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Financing options available with approved credit. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579. Baker Sports is local sports. Uniforms from Pop Warner and Little League to travel ball, high school, and college. They make you look good. They help you play good. Baker Sports has been helping families make memories that will last a lifetime with their Baker's Buckets. We've got a lot of these filled with baseballs and softballs in the garage. I've been throwing batting practice to Ty and Kaylee for years, and also sit on the Baker's Bucket, catching Kaylee while she practices her pitching. Baker Sports is homegrown, and a lot of employees that used to play on local ball fields now work for Baker Sports, now helping you look good, play good, and make memories of your own. Visit Bakersport.com to see what Baker Sports can do for you. Custom apparel, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, embroidery, screen printing, and more. Baker Sports is local sports from Jacksonville to anywhere in the Southeast. Bakersport.com. Everyone loves a good game night. Here you don't have to be the host. You don't have to clean up. They bring the food and drinks to you, and you can watch whatever you want on the big screens. It's more than a card room. It's a night full of fun with friends. Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now the newest location here in St. Augustine, right off 95 at exit 311. A brand new clean room, a full bar and menu, my favorite sushi in town. And I love the fries too. You don't have to just play poker at Best Bet. That's why I come over here to the table games and play one card poker. That's a pretty good card and a win. One card poker is like war as a kid, you against the dealer. And this isn't the only fun table game to play. A friendly staff, a lot of fun. It's a good night out at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and the newest location in St. Augustine. You can be a serious player or a novice. It doesn't matter. If winning equals fun, you're a winner every time at Best Bet. I'll save you a seat, and I'll see you down here at Best Bet St. Augustine.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Well, there's a look at the press conference room here. I think that's the second floor of this three-floor extravaganza. Someday we're going to move this into a mall. Maybe that's a good suggestion when they renovate the stadium. Go to like the Avenues Mall or something. But there is the setup. It's George from Baker Sports. He did a lot of this work, a lot of folks behind the scenes putting this together. And what a day for the kids. And we're going to get to see some of these teams like Oak Leaf right there, who should be fun to talk to and fun to watch on Friday nights. But that's the press conference area. We're up on the third floor. We've got our own little show going on right here in the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. We have ping pong over there. We have another setup over here. There's a throne over there where I think that's just for the kids, not us older people. I don't see Coach Verlin Dormady on the throne, although he could be. Yeah, could be around here as one of the top coaches that Jacksonville's ever seen. Hey, Coach, good to have you, man.
Hey, thanks. Good to be here.
You have a nice summer with those grandkids or what?
Yeah, wore me out. Had to go back to work.
You know, it's funny. We've been asking you for 5 years, when are you hanging it up? When are you hanging it up? Yeah. And now you spend all that time with the grandkids. You're like, well, this might be easier.
It's a little bit easier. I can go back like everybody else do the work. Yeah.
Those grandkids are getting older.
They are.
It's funny, but we have video. I think I brought this up to you last year. Yeah. I mean, you got the video. You holding one of them.
Yeah, Wade's 10 now.
10. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, and he was like,
you can't hold him anymore during an interview.
No. We got the last one is 6 months old. He was just born in January, so my daughter felt the need to name him after me. His name is you shouldn't add Cooper Verlin.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah, so we're excited about him.
That's a nice
I don't know if I can hang around to coach him, but I'll
cool.
get him on TV.
Are you? Yeah, you can definitely get him on TV. Are you seriously thinking of trying to hang around at all to coach any of these guys?
I don't know.
If 10's the oldest?
Wade's the oldest. He'll be in 5th grade this year. So he's, Coach, you going to be around? You going to be around? I said, I don't know, Wade. I might coach Wade middle school ball and give somebody else the reins. Of course, yeah.
That's a good idea. Hey, the Verlin Dormady with us. Trinity's always good. I was doing a little homework for this show. And I said, you know what? I really don't have a feel for Trinity Christian this year. It's been so, I know we've known so many of the kids and Colin obviously at quarterback. You knew you had that spot. And I'm like, I feel like Trinity for the first time in a long time, not for you, but for us, it's a little bit of an unknown. Tell us a little bit about it.
It's not just you, it's for us too. It's an unknown. Yeah, because we're just young. You know, we had a huge senior class that graduated, and 16 of the 20, I think 3, went on to play at the next level now, and 5 are in Division I. So that class behind them is really small. I think we only got 8 seniors And then our junior class, there's like 10 or 11. And now our sophomore class, there's 26.
Wow.
And then our freshman class, I think we have 22 or 23. But yeah, it's there's some really good young talent in our program. So we've been at it all summer long and all spring, and we're just trying to make sure we have all the young kids in the right places, and it'll be a lot of fun. It's going to be rough early because we jump right out of the gate against Ed White, Bowles, and Ranks. So we might be all scratching our heads after week 3, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Our kids are really, really excited. They've had a great summer. We've had a great first 3 days, and
it's interesting. You say, as I'm listening to you say that, it's a little bit unfair to the young kids who are trying to find their way, but they're not allowed to at Trinity because you've got a target on you. It doesn't matter. Nobody feels bad if you lost the seniors. You got a younger group. They got to kind of wear the mantle of the last 20 years at Trinity Christian, regardless.
And we talk about that a lot. About that tradition, about what's expected, and that it doesn't matter who you play on Friday night, you're really going to get their best game because they know that it's going to make their season if they can beat and upset Trinity. I think over the last year or so, we kind of lost some of that, and some of our older kids have just dropped back in and said, "Hey, Coach, look, this is what we see." And I said, "You know what? You're right. You're right." And we had several kids come back and just speak to the kids.
That's cool.
Our older kids that are in NFL and playing in college ball, and it's good to have them back.
I'm seeing some of your team. They obviously looked the part over here as they're ready to go play some ping pong and do their thing. That's never going to be a problem. You got the athletes, and you're about ready to go up for a little summer camp up in South Georgia where we've been before.
Yeah. That'll be fun. Our kids are looking forward to it. They have been talking about going to camp since last year. And it's a situation where we are, it's a love-hate relationship, like I told you, for the kids. That we work the dog out of them and get the most out of them. And it's just football for 3 days, and they don't have much internet out there, so they can't get a whole lot of social media, and they eat really, really good. My sister and a bunch of friends come up and cook, and they eat the first night they eat brisket and all the stuff. They get mashed potatoes and gravy, and they just kill it.
It's so cool.
It's fun. Yeah,
it's really cool. We've been there before. We were talking and reminiscing a little bit. I've been here a while now too, I guess.
Yeah.
Because we stayed in that cabin one time.
That's right.
And did that whole thing. There's a look at your schedule. You said it. Ed White, Bowles, Rains, right out of the gate. And I'm not sure it gets a little bit easier down the road either, Coach.
No.
Columbia, Riverside, and Fletcher. You're going to earn it.
Oh yeah. But here's the thing. This is the first time in 25 years our schedule was done in January.
Really?
Well, because everybody knew we were graduating. They were knocking on the door thinking, hey, my schedule's full. Last year I was in the middle of the season trying to find a week 11.
That's awesome. That is so true. It can be very hard to schedule. And what keeps you energized still to do this? Seriously, I'm not trying to push you into retirement.
No. And a lot of people have, and they probably ought to. But,
the FHS say, hey, it's changed. We've got NIL. There's so much, the transfer stuff. There's so much stuff that you wouldn't have to deal with if you weren't doing it. And you've been so successful. So there's got to be something that keeps you energized about doing this still.
I'll be honest with you. I love the kids. Yeah, I really do. Just love being around them. And just, these young men today, they got to have some guidance, and I have a good time doing that. And, so all the guys that really coach for me played for me.
Yeah.
So they work hard at doing that too, with Gus and, Fred and Hardy's there. And then you got Marvin Ross that played all these years, and Breon Eady. All these guys just work hard to keep filtering back in and feeding into these kids. And it's just, if we don't, I hope somebody else will later on, but, I think that's the biggest part. And that keeps me young because, hey, I know all the lingo and stuff. They don't think I do. I do.
It does keep you young.
Yeah,
All right, give us an update before we let you go on Colin. He's got so much attention. To LSU he goes, but now when he gets out of our area code, we kind of lose sight of him a little bit. What have you heard about him?
His dad, he had a great spring. He was the only quarterback that they didn't put a red shirt on in the spring.
Okay.
So they wanted him to get lit up a little bit. He did well. I think he let him down on a touchdown. drive. He's had a great summer. I talked to him and his dad around the July the 4th week because I think he came home for a few days. And he seemed just to be upbeat, happy. Everything's going well. Excited about being there. You know, I'm sure he understands he'll probably get a redshirt year this year, but man, the kid can play football.
Yeah, he can. You got a lot of guys to keep track of on Saturday. 16 out of 23 end up at the next level. That's pretty amazing.
We watch a lot of TV. Yeah, we do.
We do.
Yeah.
Hey, tune in CBS 47 and Fox 30. We'd appreciate that.
Yeah, we do. Hey, they're stacked all over the place.
Berlin Dormery, thanks, man. Great to catch up with you.
Thanks, Brent.
Say hello to the family as well, and we'll see you on Friday nights.
All right.
That's Berlin Dormery, Trinity Christian coach, a legend in the area, of course, and be fun to watch him build up these young guys. And right now they're having some fun out at that table tennis. I feel like I should call it table tennis because it's the Olympics, but it's ping pong to me. Like it's always been ping pong to me. And I think the one thing that we could do, like the old people can beat the young people in table tennis, I think that can happen. Coach, put this on right here. I don't know if all the older people can do that. Coach Nesmith from Impact Christian.
How you doing?
Good. How are you? You got any game in you?
Oh yeah, I can do a little ping pong. I can do a little bit.
Yeah. I feel like we might be better than the kids are better at everything.
Yeah.
You know, when you get a little older.
Yeah.
But I think in this, not everybody knows ping because they're playing video games.
Right.
Now,
Right.
I mean, it's different. They got that college football 25. I got no chance. But the ping pong, I feel like I could go over there, challenge one of these dudes. I don't care if they're 6'3", 240.
Right.
I get them.
I can do a little bit of both. I got a young son that's 19 years old, so he has me on college 25, so NCAA 25. We've been playing a little bit, but I grew up on ping pong, so I could do a little bit of both. I'm in that mid range. I'm still on this side with the young kids, and then I'm a little bit older as well.
I like it. Well, speaking of young and growing, and Impact Christian is just that. We had Bobby Ramsey on earlier. He hands off the program to you. Tell us a little bit about the program, where it's at going into this fall.
We're doing really well. We're transitioning from Coach Ramsey. He was a really, really good coach, a really good mentor. I learned a lot from him. The good thing about it is our administrator and our faculty and staff is behind us 100%. They're trying to help us grow on the field and off the field as well. I think I feel really, really good about the way the program is moving.
What do you have for a football team? What do you feel like you've got talent-wise?
Talent-wise, we're out there with some of the greats. One thing I can say, I've been training throughout the years over in Jacksonville, Florida, so I got connection to some guys. Our skilled guys was really, really well. We got a quarterback that Cameron Brunell that came over from Eagles View that's really, really good. Our running backs came back. Everything came back offensively, so I think we'll do well.
What does the new district formation do for you? Obviously, everybody got reclassified. How do you look at how it shook out?
So I think it'll be okay. We have University Christian and Providence, so I think we'll do well. We can compete with those guys. That's where we want to be. We want to be up there with those guys because we want to show that we can compete. We have a great program, so I think we're right where we need to be, and I just think we'll just continue to grow.
What about this day for your kids? Look at this place. I mean, we're getting a good look at what's going on here while we're talking and doing a live show, by the way.
Right.
And you've got the kids just having a blast. Football is tough. Football camp is tough. This time of year is tough. It's hot.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes in it. Friday nights are easy, but the rest of it's tough. It's a nice day for the kids to kind of get out, have some fun, get in front of microphones and cameras. Were your kids excited about it coming over?
Man, very excited. From the time we walked in the door, taking pictures on the cars and all that, just to see the video games, to see some of the other teams and the other players, just all the pictures and the chance to get interviewed. It's a great thing. I think the Jaguars, they do a really, really good job of laying out the carpet for us, and we feel really welcome, and our guys are loving it.
Yeah, it's a great collision between Baker Sports and Jaguars Prep and what they're able to do. And not too many people across the country in high school can have a media day like this because everybody's got an NFL team.
Right.
To be able to have a stadium like this. We're taking a look at your schedule right now. The Jamboree game, if you will, is against Sandalwood. And take us through your schedule. Obviously, you see UC and Providence, those are going to be the big district games.
Right.
But what else do you have here?
We have Sandalwood Kickoff Classic, which we're really excited about. We got some out-of-town games that we got where we'll be traveling to some games as well. We have Providence, and then we have Providence, UC, and those like kind of back-to-back. So we have a tough 5, 6, 7 stretch that we'll have to go through, but I think we'll be able to be prepared for it because we have a bye week 4.
Okay.
That'll be able to prepare for that. But I think we should finish strong. I think we're going to do some good things with just staying healthy and being able to get our young guys to understand what we're trying to do offensively, defensively, and special team wise.
When do you think you'll know how good you are?
That 5, 6, 7 UC Providence 5, 6, 7. I think we'll find out who we are as a football team around that 5, 6, 7 range, and then we'll be able to engage and see how we'll be able to finish off. But if we can finish strong in that 5, 6, 7, I think we'll be able. The latter end is a little not as challenging as it. At 5, 6, and 7 is.
All right, Coach Nesmith, good luck. Impact Christian 2024 season. Great. Stop by, man.
All right, thank you.
And again, that district is going to be big. UC and Providence. Providence beat UC last year, so can Impact Christian come in and almost spoil the party a little bit of what everybody might expect? Speaking of that car, that's Casey's. That's a live shot, huh? So that's kind of the thing right now. Hamby, you're one of the cool kids around. You like, is this like the thing? The Jags did this with the car. For their media day, and now we got it here for the kids. The 360 cam is here. I'm just not cool enough to know if you're supposed to be taking selfies and pictures with good-looking cars now. Is that like a hot deal on Instagram or TikTok or wherever else, Hamby?
Hey, man, you know me already way too much to think that I have any clue about all this young kid stuff. I think Coach Mo would have even a much greater idea than I would.
It would be nice to be sitting in that car. Doesn't matter what age you are, and that could be Coach Mo Williams too. There's a lot of Providence here. Jason Hamby is a Providence guy. He's producing. That's who you just heard, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
Played baseball over there, and you know him probably seen him around coaching a little bit at the middle school. And welcome in.
Hey, thanks,
Happy
man.
Media
Good to
Day.
see you, man.
Happy football season.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited.
Yeah, how about this? What a setup, huh?
It's a good setup. I was just telling Adriel, man, this is they took Media Day extra step this year, bringing in the car, a lot of photo ops. Got the 360 photo outside. Got a college football going. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we got some ping pong. We got a nice setup here in the corner, so we appreciate you stopping by. I did see some Whataburger. If Casey can hear us, bring up some Whataburger. It's not a Whataburger Wednesday here on the Brent Austin Show,
Casey,
but we'll take some Whataburger. We're all hungry.
It was funny. Me and Joe Zelink was in the car, but he's like, man, we used to on Saturday mornings, we would bring in Whataburger before the game. So we all have biscuit sandwiches and stuff, and we come up and there's Whataburger there. So this made my day coming down to Media Day.
There we go. Whataburger, here we go. There is Joe Z. I see him over there. You got the staff of former Jags. How has that worked with all you guys trying to figure it out, really, right? I mean,
absolutely.
This is a new role for so many.
It is.
You as the head coach, but your other guys as well. How much have you grown, and how has it meshed together?
No, we've grown a lot these last 3 years. So just seeing our staff and just really seeing the maturation of them as well. I've probably had the most experience coaching under Baselli there and had some years as an offensive line coach. But this really, where we had to learn year one, all the NFL stuff, you got to water all that down. That's too much. You have to remember this is the beginning football for a lot of guys, and they've really taken the approach to become teachers of the game. And all our guys are learning football, and they're learning at a high level. So I have some guys this year I can give them more advanced concepts to how to show them how to use their hands in a little bit more advanced ways than I would show a beginner. And so when you have guys like that, I think it helps out the players. Like, okay, I got a guy who's now he's getting this is a guy I can take to college. All right, let's take you a little bit further. But I like my staff. I think we work well together. We are more than just old buddies out there coaching, but we understand what our goal is over there as a staff.
Well, and a lot of you guys are coaching your kids. Your son Mason, the quarterback, and How about that dynamic? How has that been for kids? How has that been for dads?
It's been good. That's we always want to have a balance out, make sure we don't have daddy ball. So that's always a challenge. So Mason for me playing a position that I didn't play, and just him having to really rely on his quarterback coach, and the guy give him feedback like, hey, this is how you approach the offense. This is how you handle your huddle. This is the authority that you need to have when you want to command your team. So those things, like working with Tom Brady and Mark Brunell and all the guys over the years, I can kind of give him a little bit more insight on how a quarterback should act and behave. And but it's been a lot of fun. Like me and Joe, I want to make sure Joe came down here today because both our sons are seniors this year.
That's cool.
And so we have a chance to say, hey man, let's just kind of experience this together. And because we were playing back in the day before even any of us had kids, and now we kind of go back and we all talk about, hey, this is our kid's senior year.
That's pretty cool. And there's nothing like it. And kind of nothing like watching the kids play. Are you glad you have done it this way, being on that vantage point, or are there days you wish you were kind of sitting in the bleachers with everybody else?
There's days where I wish I was kind of sitting in the bleachers. It's been a joy. It's been a joy to kind of really just watch them kind of grow up and become men. I also have my nephew on the team as well, and so he's kind of been like one of my bonus babies over the years. So just kind of see all these guys grow into mature, and like now they're the leaders on my team. And I think probably one of the challenging moments. I think my son went down to the Trinity game last year, and I was like, man, this is tough. This is where I don't want to be coach. And but he was able, thankfully, he was able to bounce back from that, and he's coming into a senior season.
All right, tell us about your team. I mean, obviously you just talked about some of the kids, but what else do you have? How are you in the trenches? Always important in high school football, if you're going to be successful at any level, but really if you have that in high school football, you're off to a pretty good start.
Yeah, let's start with the trenches. I have my right tackle, man. He's been like a personal project. He came to us raw. Anthony Provlon, man, he's really taking the concepts down. I think he's going to have an outstanding year. He can run block, he can pass block, he can do all the different things you're asking him to do. And then I talk about Reggie Hayward's son, Sam Hayward. He's a force on the end from a defensive end perspective, but he's also a tight end for us as well. And he does a great job blocking for power and all the different plays that we like to run. He can catch the ball too.
No surprise, he's a good-looking athlete.
Absolutely. And then we have Joe's son. He plays linebacker for us. He'll be our Mike Backer coming downhill and being a commander on defense. And he's also our fullback. And so I'm one of the few coaches that still like to use a fullback. I still believe that's I like the base formations. Give me I formation. Give me ace formation. Let's just line up and go play some smash mouth football. It's probably my Michigan background where that comes out a little bit. But we also got a new addition in Noah Johnson. He's coming to us from Ed White. It's a great kid, man. He's going to be a defensive back and a receiver for us. And then also I brought with us today Cameron Ross, the guy who's really blossomed in his playoff game. He had 3 catches for 135. Wow. He's 6'3". He's the prototypical receiver side. So I really looking forward to having him to have a big, outstanding year. And I think I hit everybody that we brought here. I don't think I forgot anybody.
No, well, by the way, we might be hiring right here because we got some camera work being done. We got mic work being done. The Stallions are pretty good right here, and maybe part of the Action Sports Jacks team.
Yeah. So you're seeing my son. So we got he's more of an extrovert where I have the introvert thing going on.
He ain't afraid of
the personality coming out over there.
That's good stuff. We just had your schedule up a minute ago, but really the marquee win for your program since you beat UC last year.
Absolutely.
That got people's attention.
Absolutely.
And now I think you take a moment like that, right, and you try to build.
Yes.
And do you feel like there's still momentum from that, or do you just kind of throw that away and now start new momentum? How does that work?
No, I think that is. I think that was one of my key wins so far.
Yeah.
That was a huge win for Providence, and I think that was a win that really showed our team we belong. And I think it's kind of the question, like, hey, this team's coming up, like, oh, we don't feel like we belong in that game. I think they're now at this place. They feel like they belong in any game that we play, and that's one of the things we want to really build in our culture. When I first came in, I was like, hey, I respect the Sunshine League, but I want to play in the Florida High School Athletic Association so we can win. We compete for a state title, and that's what we've done. And I really feel like this team can make a push this year. We really lost a playoff game. You take 1 or 2 plays away from that game, we win that game as well. So I really like this team. They got to taste what success feels like at this point, and they're all hungry to get back there again.
Yeah, that's an important part of it. What else do you have? It's a small district, obviously, with UC and Impact Christian, so there's a lot of other things. How did you kind of craft this schedule
We kind of hit this thing like, so when people feel like you're good, they don't want to play you. So
we get a lot of that. In fact, Berlin Dormany's been dealing with that for 20 years. He said they called early this year.
Yeah,
they knew they lost a lot of seniors.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you look at our schedule, you kind of the first part of the schedule, you're probably like, who is Frostproof, who is St. John's?
Yeah.
Hey, they were willing to play us, so was able to take them. But they're actually good football teams. We're not disrespecting them at all.
Okay.
But you get into that second half of the schedule, you'll see UC, Bishop Kenny, Episcopal, Palaca. You'll start running into some games of some more familiar names that you've seen. But no doubt about it, this is a good football schedule. And Bishop Kenny, Episcopal, and UC, those will be games that everybody's kind of looking to see what we got.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch those. Hey, I got you here. What's your take on, you guys were out there, I think, Jags Legends at the practice.
Mm-hmm.
What's your take on this rendition of the Jags?
I like this team. I think this will be a good team this year. Like in football, health is a huge component. If this team can stay healthy, I think we could do a lot of special things. Again, the extrovert.
Yeah, come on around here. Come on around here,
Sam, come on over here.
But yeah, you like so. How about? I want to ask you about Anton Harrison.
Yes,
I thought he was terrific last year.
Absolutely.
I know you take some lumps as a young guy.
Yeah,
but. I mean, do you see what I see?
I saw improvement week to week for him, and
yeah.
I just because the season first starts off is very fast and just really sweet. And then by the time was going on, he was handling all the pass rushing and everything he needed to handle. I thought he had an excellent rookie year.
I thought I was going to have to tell these guys to get down a little bit, find the camera because they're too tall. They know how to do it. You don't have to tell me. You have to guide these guys.
This is a great bunch of guys. I'm going to miss this crew after this year, but we're going to enjoy it and have a lot of fun. But they are a fun bunch of guys to coach.
All right, we already talked all about you guys. You're nothing like your dad, man. Maybe we get you on the microphone. Where'd all that personality come from? I mean, not saying your dad doesn't have personality. He's a little more quiet. He's an offensive lineman.
It came from my granddad. He's real loud and energetic, so it kind of like trickled down to me, I guess.
All right, who's going to win in college football 25?
Me. They all stand with good teams, bro. Kennesaw State all the way.
All right, guys, have a good year, man. Thanks for jumping in. Coach, appreciate you. All right, guys, thank you. That's the Providence Stallions having some fun here at Baker Sports Media Day, along with the Jacksonville Jaguars, of course, Jaguars Prep. What a great job everybody's doing. You just feel a good vibe here, which is pretty awesome, and you can see more of it right now as we're giving you a live look at all the different levels of ball. Let's get Coach Menendez. Falcons are here, and I'm going to we'll go a quick interview, then we'll take a break at the top of the hour, Hamby, okay? I know we're way behind on the break stuff, but we don't need the kids, Coach. Let them go have fun. Let them go play and do their thing. But, Hamby, we're going to break in a few minutes, but not right now. Let's speaking of the kids, I mean, these guys are having a blast here, aren't they?
Yeah, man. This is cool. This is really cool.
Were they excited to come here, or did it hit them when they walked in?
When they walked in, so one of them actually came with me last year.
Okay,
we didn't have a lot of seniors.
But even this is a little bit different. I got 3 floors.
This is fun. It's some of them are over there trying to play the game. We just had a little ping pong tournament. They've been loving the dancing and all that. They love the spotlight. Yeah. They deserve it, man. It's cool.
Yeah, the kids do. They don't mind that camera now, do they?
Yeah, they love it. They love it.
Who won the tournament? The ping pong tournament.
Ben beat the players, but I beat Ben, so me.
Listen, you just confirmed something I've been saying all morning. The older guys. Like, the kids will beat us in a lot of stuff, but I'll challenge some of your guys, and I can get you in ping pong now.
That's all we did, man.
Right?
In college, that's all we did.
That's all we do. Now, there's some video games mixed in as well, but there's a lot of ping pong, pool, and other things like that. Coach Rivers with us from Menendez. All right, man. Here, have at it. What you got?
What I got? Well, first and foremost, anytime I always tell them, anytime I get to talk to an audience, even if it's just their parents, I love being at Menendez. I do. I live in St. Augustine. I'm not from Florida, so even when I was coaching other places, I lived in St. Augustine. The first football game I saw was Menendez play.
Really?
St. Augustine.
Okay.
And so I've always kind of been around. I actually had interviewed there way back when I was still playing a little bit. I actually interviewed to coach DBs over there. This is a while ago, but I've always kind of had my eyes on them. My wife's worked there. It's been great to finally get in the building and be a part of the program over there at Menendez. But this offseason, the non-football stuff that we've been able to do, seeing my guys, I've started to see friend groups mold. And that has warmed my heart so much. You know what I mean?
That's
like my favorite part of football, I still talk to the guys I play high school football with.
Yeah.
Right. I talk to some of those guys every day, and seeing these friendships grow and mold. The cookouts, the pool parties, the going off to the 7-on-7 tournaments and being off with the guys for the whole day. It's just been meeting the parents and just growing that relationship with the parents and the players and seeing them do the same. Including my wife and my daughter being around, and like she knows some of the boys' names now, and it's been great. I've really enjoyed my first year. At Pedro Menendez, man. I'm really looking forward to more of them.
That's it's really cool. Like you just, I'm thinking as you're talking, and our kids just graduated from high school, played sports, and it's like I thought high school sports had changed because everything's changed. From and high school sports have changed in some respects, but that part of high school sports hasn't.
Yeah.
Still means something to wear the uniform. Now, to some, that uniform changes now more often. But that community, right? That the relationships, these guys being buddies, and the stuff off the field, or getting through things. It still is similar. Like that part hasn't changed, which is really cool. So I like how you're talking about that and saying that. Menendez is in a good spot. Menendez has a lot of potential. I'm sure you're seeing it, and that's what you were just talking about. But continuity has been a problem. So that's probably one of the things you're hoping to change, right? A little consistency.
Yeah, we almost had no transfers. We did have one, but it is what it is. The landscape has changed, and I'm not here to speak on anybody's individual situation. Because to be fair, I guess we did have a kid come in, but it's those situations more often than not, I guess I found, haven't really been football related.
Yeah.
It's just been more family or circumstance.
Especially in St. Johns County.
Yeah, a kid might be moving parents, or he might be in a different living situation, or maybe just academically it didn't make sense for them to be one place or the other. And sometimes it really isn't football related. Like they're just not happy where they are.
Yeah.
They just, it's not a good environment for them mentally. And I think as a football coach, I was like everybody else at first. I kind of didn't really understand all the moving, and you get angry sometimes when it's your guys. I was that guy too, but again, because that just didn't happen where I was. Didn't happen where I played at. Didn't happen where I was coaching at before. But now, as I've been at another place and I've begun to connect with people on a deeper level and have these conversations, I've been a little more understanding of all the movement. And that's just where we are now. Now, in terms of your program, no, you don't want them to keep leaving. But again, it's not football that makes them stay. All right, they got to feel loved and taken care of if you want them to stay in your program, and that's the goal, right? We're just trying to. I want these guys to feel the same love and support that I had. I have a phenomenal support system at home, and my wife and my daughter. I have a big one back in Virginia where I'm from, and especially my mother, but my friends and my family have always supported me 100%. And I just want the kids in my program to feel the same, man. And so when you have a kid transfer and you find out it's because they didn't feel that love of support, that stings way more than because your team wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
That is what it is, right? I know we're better, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to win more games than we did last year. I know I can look out there, and every coaching team knows we're a better football team than we were last year. Doesn't mean we're going to win more than 4 games.
Yeah.
But if they feel more loved and more supported, and they feel like they're growing, that's way more important to me. Measuring ourselves in that aspect than wins and losses. Obviously, we're trying to win. Trust me. We were trying. We're doing everything we can to win on Fridays, but that other stuff is just has taken precedent this year. I've had enough people I trust that have been pushing that to me, and that has been my number one focus. Is building that support and love amongst the players, and the families in my program, man. So.
That's good. That's a great start. That's a good foundation. And when it comes to wins and losses, you have to navigate a pretty healthy schedule there, won't you?
Yeah, but we did it last year, so it is what it is. We're not complaining. You play who you play. You either get good and you win, or you don't, right? It's not that complicated. We play some really good teams, and this isn't last season. I don't want to speak on last season too much. We didn't feel like we were a good team, right? We felt like we were okay. We didn't think we were bad, but we were okay, and just being honest with the kids in that. And we didn't always do the best job as coaches, putting those guys in the best situation, but that's kind of the focus, is using our dudes to the best of their abilities, because we play good teams, so we can't waste a rep, can't waste a play. If making sure those guys whatever their role is, if they have a 60-play role or a 6-play role, that he's being used to the best of his ability. He knows his job, and he's being coached up to do it because we do play good teams. So to give yourself a shot, your guys got to know what they're supposed to be doing.
Casey, if you don't mind, take a look at these guys right here, these Menendez Falcons right near the window. We'll see them on camera. And so, Coach Rivers, you can tell us who these guys are. Who'd you bring along?
So the three guys, right? The other ones are playing the video.
Oh, they're
game. The other ones are playing the video game. Yeah, well, that's Nate Carr. He's a receiver, number 2. He's been a starter for a while at Menendez, man. Just a machine right there, number 34, Joseph Holloman.
The machine, I like
that. The machine, that kid is strong. He's strong, and that's Liam Malloy. That's outside linebacker. They're, man, all the guys with me, though, I mean, they play the way you kind of expect Menendez to play, right? I mean, they're tough, like all of them. I mean, Nate's a receiver, but Nate to get out there and block a guy. I mean, Nate will block. I mean, he enjoys to do it. I mean, he wants the ball, don't get me wrong, but he will block it. He will do the dirty work. He'll line up, end line and put his hands on the defensive end or a Sam linebacker, and, he practices hard. He lifts hard. The defensive guys, they fly around to the football. They practice with intensity. They play with intensity. They're excited when they make plays. And Ben Johnson, Joseph Soto, and Aiden Brubaker are here as well. And pretty much everybody I brought with me plays a little bit of defense except for Nate. And to be honest with you, Nate's been begging me to play some safety. Right? I mean, every day. That coach
you like that, don't you?
I do, man. Yeah. We might let him get some reps on the kickoff team and let him go out there and chase some guys down. He did take a couple safety reps, to be fair. Kind of an emergency role. I like my safeties right now, but you do need another guy prepared to play. But, I mean, these guys are doing everything I need them to do. Their offseason was phenomenal. They've all gotten stronger. They've all gotten quicker. Like I said, they practice hard and they play hard and they lead. They're good guys, man. They really embody what you expect out of Menendez and what you need out of Menendez for to be good. Menendez has to play defense. Menendez has to be tough. Menendez has to fly around. And we're trying to become more disciplined every day. I just want those guys to play with energy and enjoy it. I mean, I love football, and they know that, and I get a little fired up, maybe too much sometimes. But all our coaching staff does, and for our guys, for the most part, most of them are the same way. It's been fun, man.
Awesome.
I've really enjoyed coaching these guys.
Great listening to you talk about Menendez, and appreciate you stopping by. Look forward to seeing you guys on Friday nights.
Thank you, man. I tune into the show every Friday. I really do.
Well, hey,
you do a good job, dude.
Thanks, man. We appreciate it. Not just us, Stuart, and our entire team. We're going to have more than ever before. Tell the folks down in Menendez. Starts at 8 p.m. till midnight this year, high school football in the area. So we'll have some live look-ins. If somebody can't make it out to a game, we'll hopefully have a camera on Menendez and some other places.
Yeah, man. You do good stuff, man. Appreciate it.
Man. Appreciate you. Coach Rivers stopping by, and he's fun to listen to. Anthony Rivers for the Menendez Falcons. Going to do a great job there. Let's before we get to let's take a timeout. Toby's not going anywhere. We got a minute. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with Toby Bullock and the Mandarin Mustangs, one of the teams to beat around here. We will visit with more players and coaches right after this on the Brent Martineau Show, a special edition today. And I could use some Donato's pizza right now. Maybe you can too. Brent 20 is the code. Donatos.com. 2 locations: Jacks Beach and Mandarin. The Brent Martineau Show rolls on high school style when we come back on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network, live from Baker Sports and Jaguars Prep Media Day here at Everbank Stadium. Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%. You know I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer. You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
It's hard to put a price on comfort, especially when you use that comfort on a daily basis. But if we're going to put a price on it, how does the lowest price guaranteed sound? Furniture Source is going to have the biggest brands, whether it's Ashley, Casper, or Tempur-Pedic, and once again, it's going to be the guaranteed lowest price in Jacksonville. Right now, my friends at Furniture Source are going to give you the ultimate hookup because all month long, they're making their inventory wholesale price. Check out their markdowns up to 50% off. And remember, since it's Furniture Source, you're getting the guaranteed lowest prices in Florida or your money back. Don't have the cash on you right now? It's no worry. Shop endless options to suit your style and budget and enjoy 36 months off with no interest financing. Why use your money when you can use theirs? Whether it's beds, couches, tables, or chairs, Furniture Source is going to have exactly what you're looking for. Shop the lowest prices in Jacksonville guaranteed. Find the location nearest you at FurnitureSourceJax.com.
People helping people is at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From 1954 to 2024, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. That commitment includes a partnership with the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team as the presenting sponsor of all Armada men's and women's broadcasts this summer. Action Sports Jacks and Alive Credit Union, a partnership that just makes sense when it comes to covering Northeast Florida. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of our first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
Oh man, it is that time. I love being outside, but it is just so hot. Oh my gosh, I cannot be outside. Well, you know, it doesn't have to be. As a matter of fact, I've got the perfect solution for you to be able to stay outdoors and not look like this guy.
GW Outdoor Solutions has the solution that will help you create areas of shade with their automated retractable awning. As the summer months inch closer, the high temperatures will be right there too. With GW Outdoor Solutions, go from scorching to cooling in no time with one simple push of a button. These innovative shade solutions not only provide protection from the sun and rain, but also add style and functionality to your home. Let GW Outdoor Solutions transform your backyard into paradise. Check out gwoutdoorliving.com for your free estimate.
New to town or always been in town? Everyone is always looking for a good pizza place. Our place is Donato's Pizza. We love it and still do love it. When I tell my family I'm coming to Donato's, they say, wait a minute, you got to order some for us. So this is not all for me. Let me tell you what the Martineaus get when we put an order in. Well, pepperoni pizza, we usually get more than one of these. And then there's the works, a little bit of everything. And then this is the pizza that can be polarizing for some out there. I don't know why. Hawaiian pizza, some love it, some don't. At Donato's, you're gonna love it, especially with that cinnamon sprinkled on top. Try the pizza my family likes or try your favorite. Right now you can use the code BRENT20 and get 20% off your order. Every viewer and listener is important to us, and at Donato's Pizza, every piece is important. From fresh ingredients to the dedicated team members and you, the valued customer. Donato's Pizza, where every piece comes together for a winning combination. Jack's Beach and Mandarin locations, Donato's Pizza. Every piece is important.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Oh, we got a good ping pong matchup right here now. Table tennis not meant for the Olympics. The Oak Leaf Knights getting after it. Those guys cover some ground now on a ping pong table. I love it. We got a great atmosphere up here. We're on the third floor. There's 3 floors of activity here at Everbank Stadium for this high school media day, of course, presented by Baker Sports and Jaguars Prep. They do a fantastic job partnering together. We got ping pong. We got college football 25. We've got a lot of noise being made right next to us with the Sandalwood Saints. We got people sitting in thrones. They're on old cars downstairs. Press conferences. Whataburger's here. Toby Bullock's here from Mandarin. How about that as well? Coach, what a day, man.
Yeah, it's a good day. This is by far the best one I've seen in all the ones that I've seen.
And that's what they're trying to do. I can't imagine there's a better one around the country.
No.
No. They could match it maybe, but not beat it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Hey, the question is, maybe you just led me in a perfect way. Can you match last year or can you beat last year? That's what the Mustangs are trying to do.
That's definitely the goal, to beat it. I think we can. I think, you got to have luck in the game of football. You got to stay healthy, most of all. But I definitely think we can. I think we have the talent to do it. I know we have the coaches to do it. And hopefully we'll overcome it. I think the biggest difference for us last year is Columbus had been there 4 straight years. Their kids were ready to go. They knew exactly what they were getting into. It was very new to us, and that's I never want to give an excuse for anything, but they were able to take away some of us offensively and get a couple things with some short fields on our defense, and weren't able to pull it out. But hopefully we can do it this year.
I want to push past last year in just a moment, but how often do you think about that game?
It's my screensaver on my laptop.
Is it?
Yeah. So any day I don't feel like getting a little better, just look, every time I open up the laptop, there it is.
Really?
The final score.
So obviously, we've all played sports at East Edge. I can remember playing when I was 12 years old, right? Yep. We all can do that. But it's interesting because your season was a glorious one in many respects. I don't think many people expected you guys to do what you even did.
I think we had the expectation to go far. We felt strongly that coming out of our region, it was going to be us, Lake Mary or Seminole.
Okay.
So we felt really strong by that. We thought we were the most talented team in the North. Where I think it was more magical is to go on the road 5 weeks in a row.
It was. We were on the road for a couple times with you.
Yeah.
That's a tough thing to do.
Yeah, no one had ever done that. That's probably the thing that that hurts the most is not so much the loss. It's that the kids had worked so hard, 2,700 miles, whatever it was in the playoffs, and it just felt like, boom, you should have won that one to do something. We'd already done something no one had done, win 4 playoff games on the road, but to cap it off would have been just great.
Okay, so now let's move to this, because you all have to move on, right?
Yep.
That's a little bit of part of it. Everybody in Mustang Nation, that's tougher to do than people think. How are the kids handling, the hunger to finish it off and finish the job, but also this is its own season?
It is. We won. I was fortunate to be with Coach Ramsey and Mandarin in 18 when we won, and I felt in 19 there was some complacency, on my part, and I only can speak for my part. This year there's no complacency. That's the one benefit for being the loss is you can always talk about it, and it always refocuses your coaches. It always refocuses your players. It's on everybody's mind. The hard part is making sure everybody focuses on the first game, and that's Creekside.
Yeah.
Nothing matters but the first game. You can't just come out and get a bunch of L's and, think that that's going to take you where you need to be. It's not. So Creekside's really the only thing that matters right now. Nothing else really matters, and we'll move on from there.
Yeah, that'll be a good test.
That'll be a great test.
Been able to get you the last few times.
They got us last year. They got us the year before that. So hopefully we get over that hump, and what Coach McIntyre does over there is great, and it's why we like playing them. They're going to show you a different brand of football. Mandarin's right on the border of St. Johns County. It's in Duval County, and the differences of style of defense, and I'm speaking from an offensive side point now, between St. Johns County and Duval, the schematics and the scheme is so different. So, we like to call it brackish water. We got, you got fresh water on one side, you got salt water in Duval County, and, it's tough. You're not playing just Duval County schools. And so you're playing just Duval County schools, one main style play that we have here. But that's not what we have.
Toby Bullock with us here on the Brent Austin Show. No Austin Lane today. We're doing all high school sports here at Everbank Stadium. Baker Sports Jaguars Prep Media Day. Great to be here on Action Sports Shacks and Action Sports Shacks 24/7 Network, which, by the way, we're going to beef Mandarin, folks. We're going to beef up high school football like you've never seen it before. 8 to 12, Coach. 8 p.m. to 12 o'clock on Fridays. The Red Zone? We're doing the Red Zone for high school football from 8 to 10:30, then our Blitz, and then more even after that. So, and I got a feeling our cameras are going to be at some Mandarin games now because you seriously are loaded with talent. I mean,
we're fortunate.
It's a lot of talent.
Yeah,
right?
We are. We're very fortunate. We're very talented. And the most important thing that we have going on are those talented kids are just great kids to be around. They're not difficult. They're not issues. They make coming to work every day just really, really great.
They're having fun with it. They're being around each other.
They do. They enjoy. Well, they're over there right now with a bunch of helmets and Jaguar chains on.
Good luck picking 6 of those guys, by the way, to come here.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Tramel Jones, where's his maturation? Jamie French, guys that we have known now, Drake Stubbs, like those are guys that have been in your program. Everybody knows, and there are more. And you've got some transfers coming in too. But those guys that people have come to know and we're in the Mandarin when we've seen them grow up, where are they as players, as young men now, as seniors?
Well,
older players.
If you ask people every year, Jamie and Tramel are transfers every year. I'm like, how did they transfer to Mandarin 4 years in a row? They've been there since day one. You know, you hope that they're going to take their game to the next limit, or level, I guess. Limit's not the right word. The thing with Tramel is, I've told this story a couple times today. In the third round of the playoffs, we're playing Seminole, and it's 4th and 13. He sees something, and we got to go for it. We're winning at the time, but we're only winning by a point. And he sees something, we call a timeout because I didn't quite like what I had called. And he said, this is there. It's the matchup we want. And it wasn't to Jamie French. It was I said, well, let's do this. Let's put Jamie right next to where we wanted to go with the ball. He's going to pull a lot of attention. Jamie was like, all for it, which is great. And we hit Josiah Watkins right down the middle of the seam for a touchdown on 4th 13 to basically win the game. And he saw that, not me. And
that's good stuff.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. It was a matchup that we liked against their middle linebacker. Safeties were going to bail out hard in an empty set, and Tramel saw it. He was like, let's do it. We'd hit him on it a little bit earlier, but went to Jamie on the outside. And we moved Jamie around, which grabbed their attention. Jamie was all for it. We talked. The Jamie French effect is real. I got a clip, and I won't give the high school team, but we got a formation into the boundary, and Jamie's to the field, and there's 3 people covering Jamie, and we got 2 yards on the play, and we're watching it last week with the offensive line. I said, guys, how are we not running the ball? We're going up against 8 people over here. Jamie's got 3 on him over there. I mean, let's got to take a little bit more pride in this.
Yeah, your passing game is so good. I bet there is times you got to probably say, hey, let's keep running. We got to keep running.
Yeah. Well, last year we were very fortunate. We didn't mean to do it, but we ended the year with 3,500 yards passing, 3,400 yards rushing.
Wow.
And
you had 2 good ones.
Oh, God, they were the best. Yeah. They were the best. Deshard and Tion were just electric.
Tion was our Friday Night Blitz player of the year, man. Underrated player of the year.
1,800 yards rushing. He had, I think it was 28 total touchdowns and 500 yards receiving. He was electric.
All right, I got to do this. Elephant in the room. In high school, football's totally different than it used to be.
Yep.
You know the noise.
Yep.
Man, they're getting a lot of transfers in. There's 2 parts to this, or 3 parts, really. I don't know what you can control and can't control from a coaching standpoint. They're either going to come or they're going to go.
Yep.
2, if you're winning and you got good players, people want to come.
Yeah.
But 3, people are going to – you almost can build your own internal chip.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like people are coming after Mandarin not just because you're good, but because they're also like a little angry that everybody's going to Mandarin.
You know, it's I've been on both sides of it. I was at Wilson High School,
yes, you were.
And kids were, I remember the day I got the job. The day I got the job at Wilson High School, I met some kids. 3 days later, those kids were gone. They were at other high schools. They had gone to University Christian. They had gone to Raines. A couple guys had gone to Sandalwood. And so I've seen both sides of it. What we try to do at Mandarin High School, and people can say whatever they want to say, but this is the real deal. Brian Rado, Sarah Bravo, our principal and AD, built an atmosphere that we try to make it like a movie. We want it to be the place to go to high school. Football-wise, we want to spoil our kids rotten. We want to have them to have all the things. The simple fact of the matter is not every kid's going to play Division I football. Not every kid's Jamie French.
Yeah.
So I want my kids, my players at Mandarin High School to have the best experience they can have because they're not all going there. I got to play college football. A lot of my coaches got to play college football. But my son is not going to play college football, and he's my son. I think the world of him, but he is a starter on our team. He's going into his senior year. I want him to have the greatest experience he can have. And so every kid that walks in our program, we want to have the greatest experience. We want them to be spoiled rotten. We want them to work their tails off. We want everything that they do to be about the experience of playing high school football. And that's what we try to exude into the community. And if people don't like that, I really don't care. And so people want to say that, we do this and we do that. It's like anything. Is everything in your house that people say about you right? No, because they're not inside. And so it's what happens. You know, we're an easy target, which is fine. Nick Saban said it best: if people aren't talking bad about you, you're probably not doing something right.
That's true.
And I'm all for that. But these guys are what make it happen, and the experience that we want. We want boys to come in as freshmen. We want men to lead. At the end of the day, everything we say, you'll hear me say it on every radio interview I do, everything is +2. It's a +2 mindset. What can I do to get better? But at the end of the +2 mindset is we want men that can carry their family members when they're at their weakest moment, and so those family members are strong enough to walk on their own. That's what we preach. That's what we believe in. That's what we're always pushing. If people don't like that, we don't care.
That's a great message. I know I've kept you a while, but I want to ask you one more because I've watched you in different sidelines now. I've been here 16 years. I get to be one of the old guys.
Yep.
How much have you grown as a coach?
I've been fortunate. I think I've coached at 9 different schools in this area, and I've met a lot of great coaches. Greg Stanton always comes to mind as one of my mentors. Marty Lee's been a good mentor to me over the years. I've changed so much over the years, just from a schematic thing, how much I love to do. The biggest thing that has never changed for me is I love learning about football. Best high school football coach I've ever been around is my defense coordinator, and he's 12 years younger than me.
How about that?
Clayton Case, and my defense coordinator, is phenomenal. I've learned more football from that young man, and I coached him under Marty Lee at first coach. He was my left guard, and it's just funny how those circles change in your relationship. He's now like a little brother to me. We've been together coaching now for almost 9 years, and I couldn't imagine doing it without him. And so you change so much. You know, the 27-year-old Toe Book thought he knew everything. The 42-year-old knows he don't know half of anything. And so that's the biggest change. And the thing that I've changed the most about is relationships are everything in football. If I don't have a relationship with my kids, if I don't have a relationship with my coaches, what I know in my head means nothing. And Greg Stanton taught me that probably better than anybody.
That's a great message, man. It's been fun to watch you evolve, and good luck with the Mustangs this year, man.
Thank you so much.
Great to see you, Toby Bullock, head coach of the Mandarin Mustangs. Oh, they're going to be fun to watch now. We get a lot of questions sometimes on Friday nights of just fans in the area. Like, hey, where should I go to see a game? I want to go to Mandarin. It could be pretty good. We haven't had a lot of players in here. We've had a lot of the coaches come in, but this guy's coming in. I'm going to slide your chair this way a little bit. Tayshawn Yelsey from Riverside High School just committed recently to the Florida Gators. Going to play tight end down there in Gainesville. He was catching passes from Trevor Lawrence and Brock Purdy just a couple of weeks ago. Before we even get to the high school stuff, how fun was that?
All right, I done threw with Anthony Richardson. That was the first NFL quarterback I had thrown with. Then it was Caleb Williams. Then it was them two. So, like, with them already being in the NFL, I wouldn't say it was a bigger experience, but it was a great experience. Like, just knowing all the stuff they do in college, the different stuff, the deeper stuff, just seeing how they throw the ball compared to high school and other college quarterbacks, it was just good to see. I was just glad to be there.
That is awesome, Mike. How cool is that for really a high school kid? I don't know how many other guys were out there. I know you were. I'm sure there were a couple other high school kids too. But to have that opportunity, because you're in Jacksonville, right? I mean, and this is where a lot of the quarterbacks are training, and obviously Trevor's right here. Did it sink in that, man, this is kind of unique? Not everybody gets to do this?
The crazy thing about it, when I go to these things, they don't tell me who's going to be out there. I just show up, and when he was there, I was just in shock. like anytime I went, I never known who was going to be there. I just went, and they were just so happy to be there. So I ain't never scared or never going to dodge any work. So I really went out there just to get some work, but it was just to add on that I'm being thrown, like NFL college quarterbacks throwing to me. So
that's really cool. Yeah. Good stuff. All right, I've always said this because we cover the Jags a lot on the sideline. When Trevor or other NFL quarterbacks are throwing, man, that thing is humming.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a big difference. With all due respect to your high school quarterbacks, that thing is going a little bit different speed, isn't it?
Yeah, too fast. Like on them, especially on them routes, I got to come back to them. They zipping the ball. Yeah, I'm talking about deep balls. It ain't even got to be short. If it's 20 and in, it's coming.
Yeah.
So
okay, I got one last question about that experience. Again, Tayshawn Yelsey got a chance to work out with these guys. If just real quick, not long, but what do you think of the guys? So you worked with Caleb Williams. Obviously, he's now in Chicago, number 1 overall pick. Was he cool?
Yeah. They all got great personalities. They talk to me like they talking to their friends. Like, it ain't just they trying to belittle me, they talking to me regular, like just being themselves. So that's real, like.
That's pretty good. By the way, probably good for you, too. Right now, you're committed to Florida. Expectations are on you. It'll be in that big SEC. Kind of shows you how to handle yourself, right?
Yeah.
Being around guys like that.
Yeah, just, like, even they tell me, like, they'll be like, just be yourself. Don't try to change for nobody. Just be yourself around everybody. Treat everybody the same. Don't ever try to act like you're better than anybody, under anybody. Just... if you be yourself, you'll be great in life.
Good for you, man. We're watching press conference. Baldwin's up on the stage, it looks like right now. What's this like for you guys? You've been to some, I don't know if you've been to media days before. This one's bigger, better than ever before. What's it like being a high school football player coming to the Baker Sports Jaguars Prep Media Day?
This personally my first time coming to media day. So I ain't seen the last experience, but it's a great experience. A lot going on, a lot of media for players in the city, get their names out there, just having fun, talking to other teams for the season, because we know once the season starts, everybody enemies. So just talking to everybody, just having fun, really. So yeah.
We got some highlight reel catches from you a year ago. How have you evolved your game as you head into this year for Riverside?
I've more so been focused on being quicker for real. Like my route running, I already like my route running. Just getting quicker in and out my breaks. Just trying to hit that 1,000-yard mark this year.
That's the goal, huh?
That's the goal.
Why did you commit to Florida? What was the difference maker for you?
They focus on the little things, like community-wise, they stick together. Staff-wise, they worry about your well-being. Like they want to know about you outside of football, like, so just them being a family to me, it really stuck out to me for real.
And you're gonna play tight end at Florida?
Yeah, H hybrid type. Yeah.
So how big are you right now?
I'm 6'4", 210.
Okay, so they looked at you though, they said, hey, that's a good frame.
Yeah.
They're gonna add some weight to you, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Did they tell you like what you want to be or what they'd like you to be? So you're still growing, of course. But...
Yeah. They just said it was going. I don't know how my body going, how my body gonna grow. So it was basically just finish out your high school season. We gonna see how your body develops, and then we're gonna go from there.
Yeah, we got a lot of Whataburger downstairs if you want to eat some of that, and some shakes too. Give us an idea of Riverside. What are you gonna be like? Are you confident in this football team? You guys can make some noise. It's not just you now. You got the playmakers out there.
I got a lot of playmakers. Like I got a lot that came with me today. Got Miles Kendricks. He going to Indiana. Yeah. You got my quarterback, Glenn Foreman, who coming into his second year with us. You got Richard Pooler at DB. You got our running back, Sherm. I guarantee he going to be the best running back this year. Mark my words. We got Chevy in the trenches. And we got Marquez at linebacker. So these the seniors that all our young guys looking up to. We got a couple young guys that's coming in. They bringing in some offers, like my receiver, Xavier Hillard, he got USC not so long ago, so his name finna start. We're gonna start hearing his name a lot. We got a lot of young guys that's looking up to us, following in our footsteps, and we want Riverside to be like all these other big schools. Like we want people to come to Riverside because they think they'll be able to make it to the next level. So
yeah, well, I think you can do that there. You're going to be high-flying offense, it looks like. Have a great senior season, man. And the backyard's a fun place to be. So we'll see you on Friday nights.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, man. Tayshawn Gelsey, good to have him. And Florida Gator commit, by the way, all you Gator fans. Good interview, fun kid, and a really good player. So it'll be fun to watch as he continues to blossom in his career. We're going to take a timeout. Baldwin obviously getting off the stage as well. we got cameras everywhere. Stuart, I got to give some shout outs here. Stuart Webber, Olivia Tasley, Casey Kurtz, Jason Hamby's doing a great job back there as well. And we've got guests rolling in and out. Had a lot of different coaches. You're going to be able to see this again. You can obviously always see it on YouTube and social media, but we'll continue to replay some of this stuff and some of the other things that we're getting that you can't see throughout the next couple of days and weeks and ahead in football season. But let's do this, Andrew. Let's take a break. I'm probably way late, so let's do that. When we come back, we'll have more guests, players, coaches, high school football media day, Baker Sports, Jaguars prep, and of course we're on with Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. It's the Brent and Austen Show, a special edition today from High School Media Day in Jacksonville, Florida at Everbank Stadium.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Building off a summer of terrific action at Southern Oaks Stadium, the Jacksonville Armada are looking forward to the future and the return of pro soccer in Northeast Florida. Season ticket reservations for MLS Next Pro are underway, and for just $100, you can lock in some great benefits when it comes to supporting the boys in blue. Those who make a reservation will have first selection options in the new Armada Stadium out east, near Jacksonville's downtown sporting complex, as well as access to supporter VIP events like stadium tours, open training sessions, and future meet and greets with players and coaches. You can make your season ticket reservations at jacksonvillearmada.com/ticket. And while you're there, read the very latest on the Armada men's and women's teams in action this summer. Show your commitment to the fleet with an MLS Next Pro season ticket reservation at jacksonvillearmada.com/ticket.
In Northeast Florida, we love hanging out on the back patio, maybe grilling out lunch or dinner with the family, enjoying the good weather, or maybe enjoying the big game on the TV. Or maybe your favorite team in town, the Action Sports Jacks team. This is great, except for when it's really hot or the bugs start coming out. But what if you didn't have to worry about that? Titan Outdoor Solutions will make your outdoor area a comfortable spot, any time of the day, any time of the year. This makes too much sense. Titan Outdoor Solutions can give your home an upgrade. Customized pergolas, awnings, controlled shade, even retractable screens. The solution to beating the heat and the bugs and getting more use out of your home is Titan Outdoor Solutions. And this can even help prevent storm damage at your home. Living in Florida and living in your home is already good. Now make it great. Quality products, custom work, locally owned and operated. Visit TitanShuttersAndScreens.com or call 904-484-7580.
I was tempted.
It's more than just food. It's a tradition, a heritage. It's about my family and the smiles on their faces. It's about the flavor, the meat, the love, the community. Our community. Barbecue is who we are, and it's what we do.
Thank you for making Action News Jacks the best in Jacks and Folio's Best of Jacks 2023. Best TV station, Best TV newscast, Best TV morning show. Chandler Morgan voted Best TV anchor. The Chief, Mike Burrish, voted Best meteorologist. And Brent Martineau voted Best TV sports anchor. And while you're on the go, Best news website and Best local blog, The Burrish Blog. Thank you for making Action News Jacks local coverage you can count on.
It's the place we party in football season with Jaguars All Access. Welcome to String Sports Brewery, everybody. Say hello to our guest tonight. That is Trevor Lawrence. You can bring your party or event to String Sports Brewery in Springfield any day and any time. Rehearsal dinners, corporate events, birthdays. Here at Strings, you can enjoy the inside area and the outside area. Good for any weather, good for any occasion. Watch the games, play the games, shoot some hoops. Beer? Yeah, they have that. Plenty of choices. And sure, this is a brewery, but Strings is also a restaurant, and the food is fantastic. A full menu made from scratch meals. And if you need String Sports Brewery to help with a party at your place, they cater too. Family, beer, food, sports. Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Well, this is an awesome day right here, and you see the two logos up there, Baker Sports and Jaguars Prep. We got to give a lot of credit to those guys for making it happen at Everbank Stadium. High School Media Day. It looks like Bowles is up there right now. And, man, everybody that made it work. Adriel and his staff and Josh Baker and his staff. I know George put a lot of work and so many others from Baker Sports. I mean, look at this deal. They got everything working. The logos of the schools up there. Press conference form for many media outlets. We're in the third floor. That down there, I think, is on the second floor. First floor, there's a bunch of activities like taking a picture in a cool-looking car. And they got 360 cams, college football 25, drones. What else we got? Like turnover chains, helmets, big hats, ping pong. Action Sports Jax 24/7. Oh, I forgot about Whataburger. I finally got a Whataburger. Biscuit. Honey biscuit.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Honey butter. Honey butter.
I can't stop talking enough. Honey butter, sorry. I can't stop talking long enough to eat it. Coach Johnson.
Yeah.
Lawrence Johnson now with us. I hope you got some of all this stuff. You participate. It isn't just for the kids. It's for coaches too.
Yeah, I'm trying. I just got off the 360 cam, so that might have been my first time ever being on one of those things.
They're actually kind of fun.
Yeah,
they're actually kind of fun. Lawrence Johnson from Ed White High School. It seriously is, and I don't mean to make this sound like an infomercial for Baker Sports and Jaguars Prep, but this is everything they thought it was going to be. I mean, we kind of wondered. I knew they wanted to make it bigger and better. 3 floors at Everbank with all the activities I just mentioned.
Yeah.
It is really a cool setting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. They did a really good job. I just made a comment to someone else. This looks like we're at the SEC Media Days, especially with that stage down there. That was a nice touch.
Yeah, I think it feels even bigger. There's a buzz in here. Right?
Yeah.
There's a real buzz, and it spreads the folks out. We've had it inside Everbank Stadium before, but it can get kind of log jammed with all the players and coaches. And it allowed coaches, I think, to bring even more players this time around too, right?
Yeah, we're up to 6. In the past, it was 4. So that gives more players an opportunity to experience this. So, yeah, it's a great job by them.
All right. Well, the Ed White Commanders, quietly, I think, at times, very consistent, always there, and a threat here in Duval County and in Northeast Florida when it comes to football. And I feel like you're going to have a chance to be that way again, aren't you?
Yeah, we are. We got a young team, but it's a talented group. And we're always right there on the cusp. We just got to have the right set of circumstances to kind of break through. So we've been to the playoffs for 4 years in a row. So it's a good group. The group that we have has really never missed a playoff. So it's kind of an expectation that they have. And I'm hoping that we finally can break through and make it a couple rounds deep.
That would be terrific. What do you have? You got a young quarterback coming in, takes over for a senior, King Boylston. We know the family a little bit. Kyle Boylston played at Trinity Christian. A good-looking athlete, but I guess that's a little bit. We'll see, right?
Yeah. He's looked great for us so far. He's very accurate. He makes good decisions. So I'm expecting him to have a good year. And he's young, so he still has a couple years left, and he's only going to get better, especially as the season goes on and he gets more playing experience.
Ed White usually can always run the football. You got a stable back there or what?
We do. The offensive line is doing a good job of gelling. We only have one senior up there, but we got a lot of athletic kids who can really run and pull and get out into space. And Joseph Williams will be behind them running the football for most of the time. But we got a couple of kids who can run the ball and make some plays for us. And surprisingly, we're probably a little bit better passing the ball than what we have been.
Wow.
Good. So, yeah, we got some guys on the outside who can run and come down with the ball when it goes up in the air.
Have we reached a point where you almost have to in high school now?
I think so. It's really hard to to just line up and knock people off the ball every play, which was what the staple was for a long time. But now these high school offenses are opening it up a little bit more, and it seems like every year, more and more passing records are starting to come down, and it just they've been doing it so long that they start off and at the young ages throwing the football around. I think I went to a Pop Warner game before, and they were in shotgun, and before that just hardly ever happened.
That did not happen. It was very simple, right?
Yeah, yep.
But I will say this, and I don't know, maybe I'm reaching a little bit. It's fun, right, to catch and to see that. And nowadays with the transfer stuff and everything else, you better be a little fun,
right?
Too, right? You got to want to be able to be there. Yeah. Not too many people are running like Air Force. Even Georgia Tech has changed.
Yeah. And again, it's just to kind of stay up with the times. So if you're not doing that type of stuff, like especially with the kids who are able to go wherever they want to, they might not be as fun as it for them, and it's harder to hold on to them.
All right, give us you guys got to have to duck down. The Ed White Commanders. Who are these guys? Who do you bring with you?
So I got, let's see, I'm trying to look in the camera right behind me. I got Josh Patterson with me. That's a name you're probably familiar with.
Absolutely.
I got Addison Powell right next to him. And I got Javon Johnson. And who's this behind me? I got Landon Francis right behind me.
There you go. You brought these guys. I'm assuming you expect leadership out of these four.
Yeah, these are our seniors, and these are guys that we can count on. They're going to do the right thing for us. They're going to get the guys in line and on message with what we're trying to get accomplished.
I feel like I just retweeted this. Where'd you just commit? Iowa State, that's right. I can't remember all this, man. I'm getting old. There's too many guys committing around here. But congratulations. And that defense has always been a staple at Ed White, too. These guys can take the ball away, and it can create some offense for you guys.
Yeah, well, it's always a lot easier when you can stop the other team from scoring. So anytime you have a good defense, you're always going to be in a game, regardless of how well the offense is playing or how poorly they're playing. So they're not scoring, and we're always in a position to win the game late.
Well, you start right off the rip, guys, with Trinity Christian. At least you got a nice cupcake to start, right?
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
It's a big game for us. They're on the west side. It might be the closest school to us, so it's right down the street. And for a long time, we weren't playing Trinity Christian, but this is our third year in a row playing them. So I think it's starting to develop into a pretty good rivalry. And it's a competitive football game, so it's good for us in both of our programs.
All right, we're going to let you go, but you guys having a blast here or what? All right, who's the best ping pong player? How about college football 25? He's got, okay, well, you can give that up. That's good. That's good. All right, fellas, good luck, all right? Have a great season. Coach Johnson, appreciate you being here.
All right, thank you.
Good luck. We'll see you on Friday nights.
All right.
All right, all you Ed White fans, just so you know, we're going to be live looking into some of those games between 8 p.m. and 10:30, and then we hand off to the Friday Night Blitz on Fridays, and we've got even more coverage. 8 p.m. until 12 p.m. Action Sports Jacks 24/7 Network. And the network, by the way, you find on ActionNewsJacks.com, Action News Jacks app, and you can find on Roku and Google TV and Apple TV. So all you high school football fans know where you're looking. 8 p.m. until 12 p.m. So when we talk to all those Episcopal fans, they can be in the stands watching all the other games. You can keep up with not all the other games. I don't want to oversell it. We're going to probably take a handful of games every Friday, live look in like it's the red zone. But we won't be at every game with every camera. We will like to spread the wealth a little bit through the course of it. High School Media Day on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 Network right now. Brent and Austen show. Brent minus Austen. We've turned this into a high school football show throughout the entire morning. In fact, we had a bonus hour starting at 9 o'clock. And Coach, have you hit any of the fun games? Coach Johnson just said he was on the 360 cam.
Yeah.
Are you signing up for any of these activities?
My guys aren't allowing me to. I'm not cool enough to do it.
It sounds like me. Marcus Wells with us, the coach of Episcopal. It's been a few years for you now.
Yeah.
Settled into this thing, huh?
Yeah, fourth season.
Wow,
Goes by fast.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't even realize that. What's that mean? What's that mean for you? What's that mean for the program?
You know what? Doing things a little differently. You learn every single year, and leaning on my assistant coaches to give me some advice and feedback. And so now I think we're at a point where we're doing things a lot more efficiently, especially during the off season. We focus a lot more on running, conditioning, still doing the strength work in, but knowing that our guys have to go both ways. And so we've learned over the last 2 or 3 years, we tend to run out of gas in the second half. So focusing on that more in the summer has been huge for us. And really just connecting with the players. My current senior class were 9th graders when I first got the job. And so having that connection with them over these past 4 years has been huge.
Yeah, you said second half. Do you mean second half of the season or second half of games?
Both.
Yeah.
We were in a stretch last season. We started off pretty well. Then we went on like a 4-game losing streak. I think because we were beat up a little bit. We were tired. And so being able to avoid that this year hopefully will help.
All right, what do you got? You got some talent out there?
We do. So my guys are over there. Most of my linemen are here. We're going to lean heavily on them. So I have Sean Wolf with me, Carter Trobaugh, McCaden Wise, and Christian McGarity. They make up the bulk of my line. Then I have my quarterback, Turner Glenn, and Chris Rowe, my running back. We're going to be a little bit more run heavy than we have in the past. We lost Corey Scott and, a lot of our receivers from a few years ago, and Omar Dixon and from last year. So we'll probably be more 60-40 run this year. Yeah.
All right. Control the game a little bit.
Exactly. And trying to control the clock.
And you got some experience at quarterback, right? You played some last year.
Exactly.
So that helps?
It does. So Turner came in middle of the year and started for us and took it over. He's done well. He's a student of the game. He's, all into the playbook, so he knows what he's doing. And so being able to rely on him for his senior year is going to be huge.
Let's take a look. Reclassification in districts, right? I mean, if I've got this correct, you got Trinity.
Right.
NFEI.
Right.
KIP Bold City, which is a new program.
Correct.
Which is kind of interesting. We all don't know what that's going to look like. We visited with D'Angelo Jordan earlier, though, and they're obviously got high hopes. Obviously Trinity's always there, but Trinity, as we were talking, Trinity for the first time since I've been here, I think, and that's 16 years, and maybe there was another. It's a little bit more unknown at Trinity. I think that everybody around the area is kind of like, okay, well, now we know they're usually going to be good no matter what. They're going to have talent. But there's a little bit of an unknown about what they have and how they'll be.
True, but the known is Verlin.
That's true.
So he's still there. Like as long as he's there, they're still going to be tough. We know who they are, and we haven't played them in a few years, so it'll be good to get back over there. I think we play them at their place, and Verlin's a good guy. So we look forward to the challenge. It'll definitely be a challenge. And then having those in FEI, we played them last year. They put us through a tough game, and then KIP's the unknown, and so we don't really know. And so knowing those two teams are on our schedule, we know those are circled for us. We know Trinity's Trinity, but we're going to have to win those two games for sure.
Let me ask you one more thing, and I haven't kind of belabored this today. I mean, NIL is a new thing. I don't even know if we all know what it is in high school yet. Transfer is another. It's an obvious deal. I mean, we have Clayton Freeman talking about the top 20 transfers in the area. I mean, that's where we're at, right? So, but I don't feel like will Episcopal be as impacted?
I think
Do I have that wrong?
No, I think so. Our top players, they always are looking, quite frankly. And so when we have one or two guys leave, and those guys play both ways, it's not just one player leaving. It could be 2, 4, or 6, right? And so for us, losing one or two guys, it has an impact. And so we have to make sure that the guys who are with us stay with us, and so it takes a lot of communication between myself and the player and the families, but parents are still going to do what they want to do. Players are going to still do what they want to do. We had a couple guys leave last year, and it hurt for sure, but what it does do, it gives our players an opportunity to step up and make plays. We take pride in going both ways, and so our guys realize that they have opportunities when other guys leave, and so for the most part, we've done a good job of grooming those guys to take advantage of that.
There's a look at the schedule. You don't have to travel too far in week number 2 against Bishop Kenny. That'll be a fun one, though.
For sure. It's always good to play Kenny. They call it the Battle of the Boulevard. They're coached really, really well. Last year was a tough game. It went into the second half, really went into the fourth quarter, so we're looking forward to that game. That's always circled, but those district games are going to be key for us for sure.
Well, good luck with this schedule, Marcus Wells. Great to see you, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
You're number 4 at Episcopal.
Yes, sir.
Time's flying by, I guess. Good luck in 2024.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. And the Episcopal Eagles are checking out our new promo. You can see the new promo about all our new coverage coming up on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Brent Martineau, Olivia Tassley here, Stuart Webber here. We've got a bunch of players and coaches. There's a little bit of of a lull in the action. It's not as buzzing, but we are hitting the noon hour. I think this goes until 1 o'clock. Might be a little bit of a carryover after that. But what a day. What a cool day. Let's do this because I do have a lull. I could sneak in another break, Camby. So let's do that. And then we'll get some other coaches. I think Oakleaf's here, Bartram's here. I think Raines is here. So we'll sneak some of those guys in here in just a minute. But take a time out from Baker Sports Jaguars Prep Media Day. Oh, and don't forget, we'll have a full recap of this day. Jags are off today. So we'll have 1st and 10 training camp. We'll do a little bit of Jags. There'll be a lot of high school as well, and college is underway too on the practice field tonight, 11:15, CBS 47 and Fox 30. It is our nightly edition of 1st and 10 training camp presented by Farah and Farah. We'll be back on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Lunch hour ahead of us. We take it until 1 o'clock here on a special high school day here on the Brent and Austen Show.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville.
It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air.
It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com.
Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com. And they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs.
Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Building off a summer of terrific action at Southern Oaks Stadium, the Jacksonville Armada are looking forward to the future and the return of pro soccer in Northeast Florida. Season ticket reservations for MLS Next Pro are underway, and for just $100, you can lock in some great benefits when it comes to supporting the boys in blue. Those who make a reservation will have first selection options in the new Armada Stadium out east, near Jacksonville's downtown sporting complex, as well as access to supporter VIP events like stadium tours, open training sessions, and future meet and greets with players and coaches. You can make your season ticket reservations at jacksonvillearmada.com/ticket. And while you're there, read the very latest on the Armada men's and women's teams in action this summer. Show your commitment to the fleet with an MLS Next Pro season ticket reservation at jacksonvillearmada.com/ticket.
In Northeast Florida, we love hanging out on the back patio, maybe grilling out lunch or dinner with the family, enjoying the good weather, or maybe enjoying the big game on the TV. Or maybe your favorite team in town, the Action Sports Jax team. This is great, except for when it's really hot or the bugs start coming out. But what if you didn't have to worry about that? Titan Outdoor Solutions will make your outdoor area a comfortable spot any time of the day, any time of the year. This makes too much sense. Titan Outdoor Solutions can give your home an upgrade. Customized pergolas, awnings, controlled shade, even retractable screens. The solution to beating the heat and the bugs and getting more use out of your home is Titan Outdoor Solutions. And this can even help prevent storm damage at your home. Living in Florida and living in your home is already good. Now make it great. Quality products, custom work, locally owned and operated. Visit TitanShuttersAndScreens.com or call 904-484-7580.
I was tempted.
It's more than just food. It's a tradition, a heritage. It's about my family and the smiles on their faces. It's about the flavor, the meat, the love, the community. Our community. Barbecue is who we are, and it's what we do.
Thank you for making Action News Jax the best in Jax and Folio's Best of Jax 2023. Best TV station, Best TV newscast, Best TV morning show. Chandler Morgan voted Best TV anchor. The Chief, Mike Burrish, voted Best meteorologist. And Brent Martineau voted Best TV sports anchor. And while you're on the go, Best news website and Best local blog, The Burrish Blog. Thank you for making Action News Jax local coverage you can count on.
It's the place we party in football season with Jaguars All Access.
Welcome to String Sports Brewery, everybody. Say hello to our guest tonight. That is Trevor Lawrence.
You can bring your party or event to String Sports Brewery in Springfield any day and any time. Rehearsal dinners, corporate events, birthdays. Here at Strings, you can enjoy the inside area and the outside area. Good for any weather, good for any occasion. Watch the games, play the games, shoot some hoops. Beer? Yeah, they have that. Plenty of choices. And sure, this is a brewery, but Strings is also a restaurant, and the food is fantastic. A full menu made from scratch meals. And if you need String Sports Brewery to help with a party at your place, they cater too. Family, beer, food, sports. Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Well, there's a look at Baker Sports Media Day, Jaguars Prep Media Day as well. And who is that? Whose logo is that? Trying to figure it out. Is that a new team, new logo in town? Now I need an answer. Where's Stuart Webber when I need him? He's over there doing some interviews. That's the press conference area. That's floor number 2. There's a floor number 1. There's a floor number 3. We are on the 3rd level of all this excitement here at High School Media Day, which has been awesome. 2024, the best one ever. Got to be the best one in the country, quite frankly. I can't imagine anybody does it better. I keep saying that. And right now, one of the best programs in the country over the years. The Rains High School Vikings have been just that. Donovan Maslin joins us now on the Brent and Austen Show, Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network. And here we go, man. You just said best time of the year.
Best time. Anytime football is in the air, it's the best time of the year.
Well, I don't know. Best time of the year might have been when we were just talking about red fishing in Louisiana over the summer.
It was great. It was great. First time ever catching a redfish. So, I drove 7 hours. Me and my wife and family, we went 7 hours. The money we spent to do it was great. It was worth it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you catch a bunch?
How's
that work?
We caught, well, in Louisiana, the limit is 4 per person. So we had 4. So people on the boat. So we could have caught like 16, but we caught 15.
15. All right.
My friend, she caught a 29-inch red, so it was too big, so we had to throw it back. That was the only one she caught, and it was the biggest one.
All right, so I like So do you take that home?
Yep. Once we got back to the dock, they filleted, and I had my cooler. They backed it up. I put it on ice and drove it all the way back.
That's right.
And we ate on it probably about 2 weeks.
That's awesome. You've been eating good this summer, man.
Definitely.
Will you play good in the fall? That's always the curiosity this time of year.
Right.
A lot of people talk about rains now, which a lot of people usually talk about rains, but you got a lot of talent over there. Right. Tell us a little bit about it.
A lot of talent, on both sides of the ball, starting with Jayon, defensively at the D-tackle spot, and Solomon, of course, at the offensive line spot, but we have some key players in some other areas. Tony Williams at the linebacker spot, Michael Merritt, Jashawn Wonton at the safety spot, and, Charles Dawson at the corner. Adrian Walker, Zion Butler at receiver, Caleb Lankins at receiver. We have Timothy Cole II at quarterback, and, as well as Malik Morrison at quarterback as well. And some dynamic guys that we feel can get the ball, carried, with Curtis Asbury. He's a young guy, 10th grader that we feel good with. Bernard Brown III, we feel good about. And then Tadarius Zach Washington, we feel good about him and what he brings, his dynamic running style, his explosiveness to the game, and, being able to catch the ball out the backfield. So we got some talent, areas, and now it's all about just continuing to gel together and then understand how to win as a unit.
Yeah, that's a lot of talent you just named. But you said the first 2 guys you said it piqued my interest, because when we talk about talent in the area, we do think maybe it's the quarterback position, maybe it's a receiver, right? I mean, you just kind of feel that way because you see the highlights on TV or whatever it is. But when you can have it in the trenches, and you got 2 studs now on each side, and probably more, but that's That's a big help at the high school level.
Definitely. At the high school level, you always, your team is predicated on how your trenches are. So we pride ourselves on, on both sides of the ball, being strong, being physical. And I think we have that this year. The guys have brought into the mindset of what we want them to have. And they embrace it themselves. Like they hold themselves accountable. They hold each other accountable, and they work hard. A lot of times, players don't really see the work that it takes to be successful. So they just look at the end product. They look at Saul, they look at Jayon, and they see, okay, what they are now. But prior to, it was, Jayon 5 o'clock before school, Jayon 5 o'clock before summer workouts, every day, Jayon after practice in the weight room. So that is what, a lot of people don't see to get to the point that he's at now. As well for Solomon. Then we have a lot of kids on our team that, that has that same work ethic that just puts them over the top.
And those guys set the standard too.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to get here. Do you want to do all the stuff that it takes to get here?
Right.
And the credit to the kids, a lot of them do nowadays, and they see that, and they're putting a lot of work in. You've settled in. You've been here now.
Right.
Do you feel like you've kind of settled in? The program has settled in. The culture you want, the standard, all the things kind of that Ray has been, represents.
You never want really, I wouldn't call it get settled in, but, more comfortable. You understand, how the year is going to go, what's expected, what needs to happen, what needs to take place in the off season, academically, athletically, the things that we do for our kids, and in the off season, to kind of get them prepared, off the field as well. It just becoming like, tying a shoe. So like 2020, was definitely a tough year.
Yeah, for a lot of reasons.
But it was great as well. It was, I guess you would say, a necessary evil in the game of football, just to kind of sit back and figure out the things that are important, in the program. And communication, relationships is definitely by far one of the most important things you can have in a program. Building relationships with the students. I can guarantee that, when these kids go off to school, like, I can get a text message, I can get a call, hey coach, how you doing? How Deuce? How's your wife? That's the things that you're in the game for, those relationships, so that they can mold and grow and do the same thing when they become in the position that, we're in now. So I'm excited about where we're at right now, and where the program is going to go. You always want to lead the program and, better than when you got it. And when I got it, it was in great hands from Duran Wiley. So we just want to continue elevating the program and, keep that Reigns Ichiban, name alive.
What a schedule. I'm looking at it here. Holy cow. Bowles, obviously Sandalwood was down last year, but they'll have a fresh start, and everybody's going to be coming for Reigns anyway.
Right.
And Trinity, we don't really know a lot about Trinity. It's been a little bit of our conversation this morning. We don't know how good, but we know they're always talented. And as Coach Wells just said from Episcopal, they do have Verlin Dormany, so you usually expect they're going to be pretty good. Riverside's a good, you got Bassett County on there, and then you go down to St. Johns County, I think, later in the season. So, you're going to be tested.
Definitely.
You'll be ready by the time postseason hopefully comes around.
Definitely. And that was the point of it. When you have kids that want to play at the next level, they have to play these type games against these type athletes who are getting recruited, who's at that level of athletic ability. And you want our kids to, put their talents out there too. Hey, I'm just as good as the next man, our opponent. So, we know the schedule is tough. That's why we've been pushing them so hard. The expectation is high. Nobody could put an expectation on us that we hadn't already put on ourselves. So we understand what's at stake and what we are supposed to do, and that's supposed to be discipline. Play fast, play physical, and just play range football. And we're excited, man. To get out there. And, we won against Bowles and compete at a high level, going over there. It's always a great game. It's always a great matchup. It's talented rosters on both sides of the ball. So we're excited, man. And, it's just going to bring the best out of the kids. That's the main thing. can we get the best out of the kids, from both programs, and so the nation can see, and that it's a great game for the city as well.
I asked Toby Bullock this. Mandarin's got obviously a target on them. You guys will as well. But then there's the transfer piece of it. We're still trying to figure that out. But you guys have been the beneficiary of a lot of that. I don't know if you've lost some too. How do you view that piece of it, where people are talking? You hear some of the noise, right. I'm sure, right? Hey, they're getting a lot of kids in, or Mandarin's in the same boat. What's your perspective on that? And also, can it kind of form an us against them a little bit internally with your football team, that, hey, they're talking about us a little bit?
Yeah. Pretty much, the thing about it is kids want to be a part of winning programs, at the end of the day. They want to compete at a high level. They want to feel wanted and needed, I guess, in the aspect of it. Some kids have gone unseen and unnoticed throughout their high school career. So, if the opportunity is there, for a change of scenery, for a change in culture, and, a kid may looking for an opportunity just to get seen for the next level. And the thing about it, my mindset is, I'm all for kids in Jacksonville, whether they're at my school or not. When recruiters come in, they say, well, coaches and any other players around the city that, you think can play at our level of football. And I'm always, saying kids' names from other schools. Because, we have to work together in order to help all our kids get the notoriety that they deserve. So, it's just a matter of just, at the end of the day, the kids, they want to play together. I think that's the main thing is, these kids been playing together since they were in Little League, and they ventured off at the high school level. But, they talk on the phone, they talk through social media, and, they want to come together and they want to play high school ball together. So, I don't think it's anything that the coaches are doing. I think it's more so what the players are doing. They want to play together. They want to be able to compete, and the thing about it, us in Jacksonville, we have to understand that we got to be able to compete with the teams down south, year in and year out. And, they're at the state title games and state title games, and we just have to figure out what it is that we need to do as programs in Jacksonville to make sure that we're down there at the state games too, competing and representing for North Florida.
Let's leave you with this. What's the mantra of this team? Why are they hungry? What are you putting on the back of a T-shirt? What's the statement?
So the statement is one team, one mission. One team, one mission. We have a lot of interchangeable parts, but it's one mission. That we all gonna band together and, to reach that mission. It's a lot of people would say it's mission impossible, but, we gonna conquer that mission.
Coach, appreciate it. Good luck, man. Can't wait to see you watch on Friday nights. Thanks for stopping by.
All right. Thank you for having me. Yes.
Next summer, save some of that redfish for us, all right? Good to have Coach in. Donovan Maslin from the Rains High School Vikings. St. Augustine on the podium there at the press conference part of the Baker Sports Jaguars Prep Media Day. Just saw Juan from Whataburger. He was around here too, so good to have Whataburger here. Just had a Whataburger Wednesday yesterday on Action Sports Shacks, Brent and Austen Show, Action Sports Shacks 24/7 Network. And now another star of After the Game with Coach Sullivan and Josh Baker will join us, which gives us a chance to pump that show up a little bit. Coach Christopher Boyd from Oakleaf High School. If you didn't catch his edition of the show, you really should go back and watch it on YouTube, Action Sports Shacks channel. You can see the entire playlist. And we debut a new show each and every Tuesday. It replays at 6 o'clock on Tuesday, then Fridays at 2 and 6. That's on the network part on the Action News Jacks app and actionnewsjacks.com. But you can also see the entire playlist of all the coaches that we've had so far on YouTube right there whenever you want them. And eventually we're going to make it into podcast form, but we want to build the library a little bit before we do that. And the stories are fantastic, and that includes Coach Christopher Foy, whose story now lands him at Oakleaf High School for a second year. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Good. It was fun to listen after the game with you guys.
Oh, that was a lot of fun, man. That was always a good time with old Kevin.
Yeah. It's Kevin and
when you walk behind a guy like that, you find out some things and you learn some things, man.
Absolutely. Well, listen, here's the deal. There's been a mantra this morning with a lot of the young coaches, and I think you'll probably appreciate this. I would say younger coaches who have just hit this topic.
You can call me old.
Hit this topic of relationships. And when I'm listening to these shows and after the game, that's what comes to mind.
Yes,
is relationships, and what relationships with the kids, maybe relationships with the parents, relationships with administrators and teachers, relationships with your fellow coaches, and that's what really this is all about. We think it's about wins and losses on Friday night, but it's a little bit deeper than that, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you want to get that win now. But man,
part of the equation.
When I think about the people I've had the opportunity to meet, and just, an event like this one, to see everybody and talk about the off season and to just, it's a good time. It's really, you appreciate the profession.
How about your kids coming over here to this? I saw them bouncing around a little bit with all the fun stuff. I mean, this is awesome.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, they're loving it.
The camaraderie. My coach used to tell me, man, that little brown ball put a lot of people together.
Yeah.
And when I look at right now, when you think of these kids before the game, they're so pumped up and they're so focused and they're so locked in. But when they see each other now, you feel good about it, because that's the way we feel about their coaches. They know each other, they hug each other, and they tell each other good luck, and that's a pretty good looking guy.
It is. That's the message. Hey, listen, I was going to ask you something else, but since we're seeing this video, where do you get your pregame speeches? And on top of that, is there an overall message you have for this year's Oak Leaf team that you will continue to pound each and every Friday night or each and every day at practice?
Well, you kind of get them from the process that you built over the week. And especially last year, considering the fact that I was new and this was an established community. I mean, a lot of great players in the Oak Leaf.
Absolutely.
And a lot of great coaches. I mean, Frank Harris and Marcus Miller, they did a tremendous job. So it's not the fact of bringing in something new. That there's a tradition there. So you kind of go with the process and what you've done throughout the week, and you want to build off their relationships also. So that's where I get them from. And I had great coaches along my way. I mean, my dad was probably the best coach I've ever seen, and my college coach Jerome Harper, who just passed away this year, was a tremendous influence on me.
Coach Christopher Foy, there you see Shaq Quarterman, by the way. I think he was last working out with the Dolphins. I don't know how it worked out for him, but hopefully he's still playing the NFL after being able to play for his hometown Jags. One of the biggest plays ever here in Jacksonville.
Coach, the best high school defensive player I've ever coached against.
Really?
I was at Fletcher during that time, and Coach, I had never seen a young man affect a football game. It was that year. I mean, because Chip was a tremendous coach now.
Yeah.
That's another one of those great open coaches. And Coach, his impact on the game was tremendous.
Wow.
As a Mike linebacker, and Coach, he would sit in the middle by himself, and he could cover sideline to sideline. But Coach, what was his intelligence on the field and the way he treated his teammates? Oh, what a guy, Coach.
Well, I mean, that part I wasn't surprised, and I thought you would go there. His smile, his energy, right? Contagious.
Coach, this is a true story now. It's true. So he hits a kid on our sideline. And I know the kid isn't okay. He hit him like that. And Shaq is telling him, hey, come on, get up, man. You're okay. You're going to be okay. And I said, son, he's not going to be. and Shaq came back during the game, because the kid didn't come back. He said, Coach, is that kid okay?
Wow, he checked on him.
Yeah, he did.
What a cool story.
Yeah, Coach, he was. Then he hit the next guy just as
He kept popping over to the sideline and asking how all your guys are doing. Maybe he wasn't doing out of being nice. Maybe there was a little swagger to him.
No, Coach, he was a tremendous. And I had a chance to watch him from a sophomore to his senior year, because we were in the same district, and that was the year that the only year Oak Leaf won the district champ, because they've always been in such great districts and conference.
So hard.
Yes, and they beat us twice. It hurt, but they beat us twice that year.
Wow. There maybe has not been, and somebody's going to sit here and say, like, Brent, you're wrong. There's like 5 of them and us too. I'm not sure there's another school, not just because you're there, but before you were there. Oak Leaf has been put in these districts that they are good, like really good, like in almost any other district in the state, it would be a playoff team. And they have just had like the bad luck of whether it's being with Bartram or Buell's or you name it. And by the way, you're not in an easy one right now either.
And the emergence of Creekside and
there you go.
And Mandarin.
You go 8-2 and not make it, right?
And not make it. I could remember, in one of my post-game sob situations, I was telling my wife, I said, sweetie, it's like being in the playoffs every week.
Well, speaking of that, here's your schedule. And it looks like you might be in the playoffs just about every week.
Yes. Hey, well, I have if you want your kids to go to college, they need to play teams that put kids in college.
We're starting to hear that a lot. I heard that a lot today. Is that a new thing that you guys have come around to, or is that just louder than I've heard it in the past?
Well, to build the Jackson program, my first year, we were not very, when I got there, we weren't very established. And the teams we played weren't very established. So but that second year, I knew full well, look, if we don't play, Rains and Rebold and Riverside and the teams that we're traditionally supposed to play, we're not going to make it. We're not going to produce enough revenue in order to do that. And that's how we did it. I mean, you have to stand up and really, play some guys. You have to put that record out there, put those kids out there and let them compete.
But the domino effect there is, I get it for be battle tested by the time you get to the postseason and hopefully get to the postseason. The domino also is get kids noticed, because now you're putting them against kids and you can go against a receiver that's going with Florida or wherever else and see how he matches up. And that's a game tape now that could get that kid a scholarship.
It's funny. We call it game tape. I remember the time it was really tape. It was really tape. Because now, kids they go in huddle and they put their stuff together. But it says something, speaking now as a father. When Deuce was able to put tape up against Buchholz and Bowles and that schedule we played last year, and he had highlights that would show the diversity of our schedule, it meant something. Not just his numbers, which could come from, teams that are not as competitive. But yes, it does. It helps.
Yeah.
It helps.
And it makes sense.
Yes.
It makes sense. Christopher Foy with us from Oak Leaf. All right, I'll let you go, but I want you to talk about your team a little bit. Not just Deuce you got, of course, but you have a lot of talent there.
Yes. Well, we got Carlos Winterthorpe back. Very, very dynamic player. Michael Connor. I think we got one of the best young, with Jordan Price, one of the best young receiving cores. I'll put our defensive front against anybody. We're deep. We're about 12 deep, and and they get after it. Coach, it's got to happen this year. We're senior heavy. We only lost 7 guys last year, and so and I've been there a year now. So I think their coach this year is much better than the coach they had last year.
Well, that's a good sign too.
Yes.
Do you taste the hunger?
Oh yes.
You can feel that.
But coach, the culture. The culture's there, the relationships between the kids, they're there, and it's there, and and we're a lot tougher now.
Yeah,
we're a lot tougher.
That's a big difference.
Yes, it is.
Christopher
I appreciate you, Coach.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Good luck. We'll be seeing Oak Leaf on Friday nights. Plenty of times when we roll out our Friday night blitz or zone blitz, which is going to go for a couple hours starting at 8 o'clock on Friday nights. That debuts, by the way, August 30th. It's not a week 1 debut because we have the Jags preseason game, the final one in Atlanta. So when we start this brand new coverage from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m., some of it will play on TV, but most of it will be on our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. It rolls out Labor Day weekend just because of the nature of the Jaguars playing on that Friday night. We have that game too, so we'll be spread out all over the place. We will have a Friday night blitz that night at 10:30 on Fox 30 in our normal TV coverage. But the expanded coverage begins on August 30th. Well, it looks like, I don't know, are we winding down? I sense that we're winding down a little bit here at Baker Sports Jaguars Prep.
I haven't popped downstairs in a little bit, so I don't know exactly what the line looks like down there.
Like you put one of our cameras down there, Webber.
You got the Toros down there now.
It looks so good. Yeah. They did such a great job. And Hamby, by the way, nice job, man. You're doing a great job. Producing and directing this thing.
Popping those schedules up. I love that.
Schedules are up, man. And Casey's done a great job with another camera that we have, and Olivia and you being able to see all these different scenes. It's been a fun watch. If you love high school football, and I know a lot of the kids are here, so they'll go back and watch the show.
And we'll replay it.
And we are going to replay that son of a gun, aren't we?
Don't you worry about that.
I mean, I got Brian Braddock right here. He is, I don't know, who's he talking to? I can't tell who he's talking to. And he is like in a 3-point stance almost. I mean, we got coaching going on amongst coaches.
Perpetually
right
in a 3-point stance. I think that's Coach Turner from Palatka.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Palatka coming off a nice year.
Yeah.
Well, you guys did a good job. We rolled a lot of coaches through. And I feel like we're going to have a lot of good teams. You know, it's funny. I was thinking of this. You never come here and people are like, I don't think we're very good.
Oh, 16. 16 on the coach
counter. Nice job.
Counter.
And I tell you, it was really fun.
I threw a player in there for you as well.
And I thought at times we might get, but they're huddled up doing a bunch of different things, which was a good move on your part. But Tayshawn Gelsey was terrific. And it's great listening to him talk about catching passes from Trevor and Caleb Williams and Brock Purdy this summer, and he was really good. So
they tried to get 3 more Riverside players. I'm like, well, we gotta let's keep it rolling.
It's only a bonus hour show today.
Yes,
so 16 different coaches. But yeah, you don't usually hear people say like, yeah, we don't think we're going to be very good. Now, occasionally you kind of get it from a coach, but I do feel like a lot of the people that we had on feel really good about their programs, where they're at, the season going in. Yeah. And I would say most coaches that we had, there were a couple of newcomers, but I feel like if we did if we took your sheet here and took up all the coaches, I wonder if this is one of the more experienced groups collectively that we've had.
That's fair.
It felt like a bunch of the folks that we talked to today have been there for 3-4 years at a minimum, and maybe even more.
Yeah, and some of the switches that have happened have been local coaches staying local, going to another team, like Bobby Ramsey making the jump over to Jackson and things of that sort. So, I mean, experienced group and not as much maybe turnover. You get paparazzi out here, Kevin Sullivan, our Hall of Famer. I was telling about the promo, how we have.
Oh, yeah, we got him in. He's probably watched it 100 times.
Him busting through the banner as our Hall of Famer. But, yeah, there's been a lot of experience coming back as far as the coaches go, and that's good. You love to see that continuity for these guys to keep working with the kids. And one of the things when I'm asking some of the players, I'm like, how long have you been playing with these guys? Because it's like, I want to talk to the guys who've been with a program for 6, 7, 8 years, and I love when you get those sort of teams and players and coming from those communities where you grow up with each other.
What you guys have been off to the side doing some other interviews, mostly with players and having some fun. But the kids are having a blast here. Again, it's winding down. It started at 8 o'clock this morning, but this thing was done right.
Yeah. First class, per the usual. It's been really, really well set up here, and I love the giant hat. You need to bust out your giant hat again.
I know.
You have one.
It's got ESPN. I got to go get it.
We need a new logo. We could slap a sticker on there.
We might have to do that. I do have the giant hat. The
hat, AS Jack sticker on there.
The hat is worth it. We have to try all these different things out. 360 cam with the Action Sport Jacks team, and
go sit in that car downstairs.
That's right. Ping pong.
Some ping pong. I'll play
some ping pong. Beat me in ping pong. I don't think.
Probably not, but
all right. Anything get your attention out of the guys you talk to? I mean, as we see the First Coast Bucks now.
Yep, I see Marty down there. Another Hall of Famer. But yeah, no, just the excitement level. Everyone's been putting that work in over the course of the summer. You said it. Everyone, thinks their team's going to be good because that's the way you have to approach every season. It's how all 32 NFL training camps are right now. Everybody expects their team to
that's true
to be better, to be good, but you know what? Not every team can be better. Is kind of is how that works.
Well, much like the NFL, you got to stay healthy, and especially in some places where you don't have a ton of depth at the high school level. It's going to be a fun year, though, I think. Overall, let's do this. We probably get a couple more coaches still to come.
Yeah,
let's slide a timeout in. Kevin Sullivan probably jump in a little bit. We'll try to go rapid fire here down the stretch as we get done at 1 o'clock today, and we will have more to come at 1st and 10 training camp tonight, 11:15 on CBS 47, Fox 30. And Stuart just mentioned it. This is going to be a 4-hour deal today from Baker Sports and Jaguars Prep Media Day. It'll be replayed multiple times between now and the start of the football season. 1st and 10 training camp tonight. We'll recap it all, but we're not done yet. We're coming back right after this from Everbank Stadium.
New to town or always been in town? Everyone is always looking for a good pizza place. Our place is Donato's Pizza. We love it and still do love it. When I tell my family I'm coming to Donato's, they say, wait a minute, you got to order some for us. So this is not all for me. Let me tell you what the Martineaus get when we put an order in. Well, pepperoni pizza, We usually get more than one of these. And then there's the works, a little bit of everything. And then this is the pizza that can be polarizing for some out there. I don't know why. Hawaiian pizza. Some love it, some don't. At Donato's, you're going to love it, especially with that cinnamon sprinkled on top. Try the pizza my family likes or try your favorite. Right now, you can use the code BRENT20 and get 20% off your order. Every viewer and listener is important to us. And at Donato's Pizza, every piece is important. From fresh ingredients to the dedicated team members and you, the valued customer. Donato's Pizza, where every piece comes together for a winning combination. Jack's Beach and Mandarin locations. Donato's Pizza, every piece is important.
People helping people is at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From 1954 to 2024, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. That commitment includes a partnership with the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team as the presenting sponsor of all Armada men's and women's broadcasts this summer. Action Sports Jacks and Alive Credit Union, a partnership that just makes sense when it comes to covering Northeast Florida. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of our first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
Burgers or breakfast, you can get it all at Whataburger. Try something new on the menu or an all-time favorite like the Whataburger Patty Melt.
And now you can have breakfast here at Whataburger 12 hours a day, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m. Menu items like the bacon taquito, sausage taquito, honey butter chicken biscuit. Whether you work the late night shift, just want a snack early in the morning to get your day started, or a little pick-me-up late in the morning, 12 hours a day, breakfast served, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m.
A dozen locations in Jacksonville. You can order pickup or delivery and download the Whataburger app. New rewards members get free Whataburger items when placing their first online order. Just download the app. And for us coffee drinkers, Whataburger has all new hot coffee and iced coffee too. Satisfy that coffee craving at Whataburger 24/7, and it comes in a variety of flavors. Burgers, breakfast, coffee, and so much more. Whataburger, just like you like it.
What started out as better people, better projects just keeps getting, well, better. That's Better Exterior Solutions, ready to help you create a better outdoor experience. Check this out. Motorized pergolas are the latest in technology to transform your outdoor space. Beautiful day? Let the sun shine through. Summer rainstorm? These pergola systems close automatically to keep the weather out. From residential to commercial uses, Better Exterior Solutions has products customized to meet virtually any existing architectural structure. With retractable awnings, screens, and hurricane shutters too, if you want unparalleled quality and expertise, you need Better Exterior Solutions. Get a free estimate by visiting betterexteriors.com or calling 904-902-4999. Better Exterior Solutions. Experience better.
We all have our favorite spots in town to eat, drink, and have a good time. And once in a while, we try a new spot. This new spot will soon become your favorite spot. It's 1937 Spirits and Eatery in San Marco. Where else can you get unicorn fish? It was really good. They have local fresh seafood. Try a terrific burger or a Jack's Hot Chicken sandwich. The ambiance is perfect for any occasion.
The idea here is to have fun, have a good time. Whether you're chilling out on the couches, cozying up to the bar, having lunch or dinner, it's a throwback experience. 1937, when going out to dinner was like going to a party. They even have a photo booth. Who doesn't like a good photo booth?
We recently brought the entire team out to try it, and everyone said, I'm bringing my significant other here to try it as well. The new spot becomes your favorite spot. Make 1937 Spirits and Eatery in San Marco your new favorite spot.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
What did you do? Hey, careful. Don't say anything you should.
I don't know where this conversation's going right now, but we're back at Baker Sports Jaguars Prep Media Day. I didn't want Brian Braddock to say something he shouldn't have said.
We're live.
Here we are. What's up, man?
Living the dream. Living the dream.
Should we get the rest of that conversation or no?
No. I'm messing with these guys that the Bulls of the world that walk out. They walk out to their games and it's like, which Georgia commit do we want to get, or do we want to get the ball to on this play? So and I was just talking, and then we got another opponent who we're going to look around and we're going to go, well, which future NFL defensive back do we attack on this play? Against Mandarin with all those dudes they got. So I'm poor mouthing, having some fun.
You're having some fun. Yeah. Well, listen, there are people who are going to go up against your St. Augustine Yellow Jackets and maybe say the same thing. You guys are pretty talented over there.
We've got awesome kids. So these guys I brought today are great kids and really talented players. And we got the fun thing this year is we got a bunch of other seniors that easily could have been brought to this event in this group that are great kids and good football players. So it's a fun team.
You guys have been around here a little bit, I'm assuming, and maybe you're on the back end or maybe you just got here. But how about this day? You just watched a press conference down there. You got the Bulls kids now playing a little ping pong. You got a little something for everybody for the kids. This experience, I'm not sure they can fully appreciate when they're in it. Like, this doesn't happen around the country, I don't think.
No, this is really neat. Yeah, and we're kind of just used to it now because it's been something that's been around for a while here, and but it is a lot of fun. It's really cool for the kids, and it's a neat event. I mean, and this year's even different, more than what they've offered in the past. So really, really cool.
Brian Braddock from St. Augustine High School. I saw you over there during my last segment, and you were like almost in a 3-point stance. I mean, you're coaching even on the third floor here at Everbank Stadium. I mean, you're just always coaching.
I just was telling Coach Toblin that I'm going to have to make sure to lock the back door of the locker room so that our team will come out the front when they show up at our stadium with the squad he's bringing in. So we're it's going to take us. I'm glad that game's week 3 this year, not week 1. We got a little more time to try to build up some courage.
You got some guys to replace, but you do have a lot of guys coming back, and you made such a deep run and a great run. I asked a couple of coaches that had good seasons last year already. How much do you build off that, but then put it away and create your own identity, expectations, everything else? And I think that's easier for maybe adults to do. I'm not sure it's easy, but it's easier. It might be really hard for kids to do that.
For sure. Yeah, there's some benefits. I mean, there's some unders. We have a lot of kids who've been, they're 3-year starters. They took a lot of lumps when they were sophomores, and last year had a little more success, and then have high expectations for themselves this year. And it's been a unique year in that last year there was a lot of anticipation for our guys, and we really had some high emotion senior guys on that team. And the demeanor of this year's senior class is just a little more reserved. They're great kids. They work really hard. They're really talented. So it's a different team, but it's a lot of fun. I think that it gives you confidence in that you know what you can accomplish. But, all jokes aside, I mean, we're playing some people that are absolutely terrific. And that thing can go in the wrong direction really fast against a lot of the teams we play. I mean, we open with a PLACA program that has done nothing but improve over the last few years under Coach Turner. Then the Menendez program where Coach Rivers doing a great job there, and then we jump into Bowles, Riverside, Nice, and Columbia. So it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of work.
That's a nice stretch.
Right. So
and you got Bartram and Mandarin to finish too on there. I mean, everybody. But I guess that's kind of what you want, right? I mean, a lot of the coaches have said you got to be battle tested. These guys want to play good competition too, right? That's not just a program thing or that's a kid thing. The kids want to play those guys.
Absolutely, yeah. The kids love that. I think selfishly, I'd like to sleep a little better at night during the week.
Yes.
But selfishly,
well, you do sleep better because of these guys. Who you got here?
That's
I'll
right.
interrupt you. Who do you got? Come on over here, fellas.
Yeah. So we've got.
You're gonna have to get down a little bit for this camera angle. Here you are.
We
right?
got D Lyman, Mike Wright. We got DB Braylon James. We got. Let's see, DB Jimmy Wheeler, receiver Carl Jenkins, and then over here talking elsewhere, we got Lachlan Hewlett and Trenton Jones.
So it's you lean on these guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely. These guys they have to be the ones that drive the bus, so to speak. They know what it looks like to really work and be prepared. They also, I mean, they probably think I build the teams we play up too much. I don't know where they would think that, but at the end of it, but to be honest, like if you're not giving respect to the opponents you play, I mean, you're going to embarrass yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and that needs to drive the way you work. And you got to understand that these guys are as talented or more in some cases than what we might be, and they're working just as hard. So we don't have any margin for error.
All right, guys. You played ping pong yet? Who's a better ping pong player? Back there. All right. Listen, you deferred. I know you should get some deferring. Everybody usually raises their hand and says I'm the best. How about college football 25? All right, there we go. We got a couple of hands up. I figured you guys would be pretty competitive for that one. Throne or the car? Which is the better photo shoot? Car? All right. Good deal. Coach, you got to get Coach Braddock in the throne or the car? Which one?
The car?
You're good down there. Get your if you haven't got your picture taken yet, Coach, you're doing it. All right, guys. Good luck this year. Appreciate you. And hey, did you listen to Coach Wiles after the game?
I sure do. I sure did. That was great.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that a lot.
We got the whole St. Augustine 30-year run.
I know. Feel spoiled. Very, very blessed to be a small part of it. It was really cool. It's like a trip down memory lane for me, so it's a lot of fun.
Good. It was good for all of us. Thanks for being a part of that.
Very fun.
Good luck this year, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Brian
Appreciate
Braddock, St. Augustine High School, and they got a good schedule now. They got a good football team. It'll be fun to watch. Once again, there are some teams you can point to and be like, hey, if you're looking for a place to go on a Friday night. In fact, I told my kid he's going to Flagler. I said, hey, you want to go on a Friday night to go watch a high school football game? I'm going to stop by St. Augustine because that's going to be a talented group to watch. Coach Braddock on after the game, his predecessor, Joey Wiles, was a subject of one of the episodes of After the Game. You can find all that about St. Augustine and on our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. If you never saw our Making of a Program documentary style show that we did on St. Augustine, I invite you to check it out. We've done one on Rains as well. And Stuart Webber did one on Tokoi Creek when they were a startup program. So you can find some of that kind of content, even that we did years ago on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Wow, I was just talking about Tokoi Creek, and here we go with Coach Harbison as he joins us on the Brent and Austen show on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Where I was just mentioning how Stuart did a story on Tokoi Creek from the ground up.
Yeah.
In the early days. Well, you've since joined the fray and. A lot of excitement down there in St. Johns County at Tokoi Creek, huh?
For sure. Like you said, these kids built this school literally from the ground up. They were practicing at a local middle school for the first year, and they showed up every single day. This summer we were averaging 140 kids a day in the summer.
Wow.
We had 150 the day before the 4th of July, which is fantastic. Kids had every excuse in the world, but they were there for their teammates to get better as a program. And we're really, Coach K built a strong foundation. We're just trying to build on top of that to get to the next level.
So this is that freshman class.
Yeah, the first freshman class will graduate this year. The kid that literally built the school. So it's really, really cool to be a part of that.
Cool. Is there a pride factor in that? Do the kids realize that? Is it something else maybe you guys talk about more and the parents talk about more? Do the kids sense hey man, we built this thing and now let's leave our mark one more time?
Yeah, and it's been a selling point from the coaching staff and from the community. The parents are super involved, which is awesome. And the kids are starting to believe, not even believe in it, but understand, wow, we really did build this. We were freshmen playing on Friday nights that probably had no business playing on Friday nights, and they took their licks, but now they're the ones delivering them, and they're bringing in our new class of freshmen. We're gonna have almost 400 freshmen join our school, not our team.
Yeah. Gosh, you don't want that many.
No, it'd be a great problem to have, but they're owning that kind of leadership role and the pride in it because they did build this school, and leaving a mark now. They've built that leadership structure, and now it's up to them to pass it on to our next group of kids as they funnel through our building.
Zachary Harbison with us on the Brent and Austen show, Tokoi Creek head coach. You can build it fast in St. Johns County, can't you?
Yeah, and the big thing, and I talked to my AD about it just yesterday, is that the kids show up every day. So it's up to you, our staff, to push them because they'll do the work. First thing people told me, Jeff Holland was an awesome AD at St. Aug, and he was my AD last year, or 2 years ago, right when I got hired, I guess. And he told me, these kids will listen to you. They'll do everything you ask of them, and they've done that. So yeah, you can be competitive really, really fast, and you have to be to keep up. I mean, McIntyre at Creekside has done a great job building his group. St. Augustine's also obviously very awesome as a program. Beachside's getting good really, really quick.
Yeah.
Coach Drafts has knees rocking and rolling. Menendez was super competitive last year. Everybody in our county plays really, really good football. We can't take a day off or we're going to fall behind.
Yeah, and I know you didn't mean to leave them out, but maybe outside of St. Augustine, the most successful one is Bartram.
Yeah, they're a district opponent. No slight there. Promise you.
Hey, listen, I had to mention them because I'm a Creekside guy. guy, so I got to mention him.
Yeah, we got Bartram.
I don't want that to come off.
Week 6,
everybody.
Bartram. We're excited for you guys. Very great program. They don't need any extra motivation.
I started the show with McIntyre on, so I had to at least, I got to even this thing out
please
somewhere.
get Bartram in here.
So what do you have? I mean, I see the quarterback's back.
Yeah.
And can't miss him with the blonde hair, man.
No.
But how I know you have talent, but how do you feel like you are as a football team with that talent?
Yeah, I think we're in a good spot. Again, they were there all summer. We're leaps and bounds ahead of where we were last year at the beginning of fall camp. They believe in the scheme. They know how to execute the scheme on both sides. But more importantly, they really love each other. They're going to fight for each other day in and day out. And obviously with our district, you're going to have to fight day in and day out to compete. And we're excited for that challenge. I think we're really, really good up front. And again, Bartram, Buchholz, Nice are going to challenge that, our depth up front. We're going to get guys banged up, and we're excited for it. I think we're ready for it. Whether we're ready or not, we have to play those guys, and we're excited for that opportunity.
You, Inglewood prior.
Correct.
I got a couple questions about that, but let me stay on the depth part. How does it change you as a coach, philosophy or whatever, when you're at Inglewood and you might have guys playing both ways?
Yeah.
And you come down here and the numbers are huge.
Correct.
Totally, you don't have to worry about that. There are a lot of programs in the area and around the country that have to worry about numbers when it comes to football.
Yeah.
But you don't have to. Does it change the way you do things in the summer, do things in practice during the week, or just approach how you're going to use your talent?
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing for us is we can be more physical in practice, because numbers 25 through 40 are similar players. And again, they're there every single day. So we can be physical. If guys go down, it truly is next man up. And it's like that at every school. But we feel at Tokoi and in bigger schools in St. Johns County, the kids are pretty comparable. And it's up to the coaching staff to get them ready. And that was a struggle early last year. It's like, hey, we got 140 kids out here. We need 140 kids ready to play football. It was easier at Inglewood. It's just structurally, when there's 40 kids in the program, getting 40 ready is a lot easier to get 140 ready. Yeah. So that's been the biggest learning curve for me. And you brought up McIntyre earlier. He's been a huge mentor of mine. I don't know if he knows that, but I'll reach out to him like, Sean, how do you do this? And he's talked me through that, and he's been a great resource for me.
Mentioned Inglewood. We had Coach Johnson on earlier, and I think it's really cool that they first winning season last year in 17 years. But you were there. You guys did some nice things there, too.
For sure.
You started to turn that, and then obviously you go down to Tokoi.
Yeah.
I was just curious, do you keep an eye on them, and is it kind of cool to see them back after knowing what it takes to kind of get back there?
Absolutely, man. Leaving there was tough. I love Tokoi Creek, but leaving those kids was really tough. And leaving KJ. KJ is one of my best friends. He's a phenomenal coach. I'm so glad they made the easy hire there to hire that guy, because he loves the community and loves those kids. Definitely tracking them. I had a lot of those kids last year. I had them since they were in middle school. I would love to see them do well. I'm going to be an Inglewood Ram fan and tell them I'm done breathing. Unless they play us, I'm going to root for Tokoi, obviously, and coach to beat those kids. But seeing their success in KJ continuing to build what he started there, because he was there before I was on that staff, and he really started to turn it around. So seeing him grab the reins and those kids experience success at that level is really, really cool.
All right, one last thing. Schematically, are you guys who you are and going to be? Does that change year to year? And is that more you as a coach or more just the players that you got?
I think it's a mixture of both, right? Obviously, I have my philosophies. Our offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator are guys I trust, and I want them to do their job. That's why we hire them. But we have to make them fit our kids, and fitting the St. John's kids, the kids you're going to get in there. We're a little different than St. Augustine. We're not always going to have the kids that can run by you. So we have to make sure they're in the right spot and develop that speed, develop talent in certain areas, and make those kids or fit our scheme to our kids. We don't want to try to put a square peg into a round hole and bang our heads against a wall. But I think right now we're in a good spot, and I'm excited to see how we do this fall.
Well, Tokoi Creek's in a good spot, too, man. It's going to be fun to watch. I appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Zachary Harbison, Tokoi Creek Toros. Year number 4 of these guys already. It's crazy. I don't think time flies, but maybe it does when you consider that. And Beachside's coming on strong. I mean, I didn't want to belabor that point because I think everybody knows now, but it is really amazing how fast you can flip it in St. Johns County. I mean, we talked about Yulee with Coach Doherty earlier. It's an influx of kids and parents and families, and nothing like it in the country maybe than St. Johns County, the way they've been able to grow their population and add schools. But usually you add schools and you're like, hey, can we compete with Bartram or Creekside, been around, or Nice? And the answer is, yeah, pretty quick around St. Johns County. Hey, Sully. Let's get Sully in here if we can. Come on by, Sully. I think we got a little bit of a downtime. Oh, let's get you in here real fast. Nice Baker shirt. Like it. Look at that. Nice Baker Sports jacket, quarter zip.
We match.
I know.
We're like twins.
Well, see, here's the difference. I went out. I was like, I'm going to go buy a couple of these for the sports department. I hadn't got to you yet.
Oh, okay.
You're on the second wave of the budget.
Yeah, that's normal. It's like my life story.
Yeah, and so then Josh gave you that one today.
I know. I was fired up. I feel like I'm a part of the team now.
Well, you
I got some gear.
That's right. You were actually begging for it during after the game.
Hey, somebody's got to be begging for it. You know. That's what I miss. So I used to get free phone chargers when I coached and taught because they'd leave them around. I never bought a belt because I'd always find belts all around the field, and I always got gear, and I miss all that. I literally bought my first belt in 25 years when I had to go to a wedding 2 weeks ago. My wife said, "You got to get a belt." I'm like, "Oh, I don't have one. I can't go to the field house and get one."
I would have believed almost anything you would have said today. I did not have belt on the bingo card. Like, really? You would just, so people would leave around belts, so you never bought a belt?
I haven't bought a belt, I'm telling you, in 25 years. And so you'd go and you'd clean out the lockers at the end of the year, and there'd be belts, and you'd stick them in the equipment room, right? And nobody'd claim them, and then I'd be like, I got a new belt.
And it's not like you're a size 44 waist or something.
Right. So. And then phone chargers, it was like,
now that one makes sense.
Every month.
That's
every
a good
month.
one. I didn't think of that one
and
either.
I saved them. I didn't take them right away. I put them in the office for a month or two, but then they were mine, And then gear, of course, gear. You know, we get shoes. I had to buy shoes for the first time because every year Josh gives me shoes when I'm, through Baker Sports. And, it's just it's tough and, in retirement.
You're in the Hey Dude.
Yes.
Family now.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Me and you.
Definitely in the Hey Dudes.
Hey, you've been here for a little bit. I mean, this is fantastic, isn't
awesome.
it? I feel like Braddock's playing ping pong with one of his players right now.
Well,
they really did a great job with this.
What you said earlier, the old guys can beat the young guys.
We can get them.
Because I've watched some of the coaches play, the kids and stuff. I introduced ping pong at Andrew Jackson in PE. We bought tables. I brought them in. We used to play round robin game.
Huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had like 4 or 5 of them. We'd pull them out on one side of the gym when I got there and we played because, we didn't have a lot of room down there at the school, so we had to do other things. So we'd have tournaments and stuff, have a lot of fun with it.
That's awesome. I was watching the Olympics and badminton, too. I used to play badminton in gym class. And it was awesome. And my gym teacher was really good. So, I remember leaving gym class, we were just sweating like crazy playing. But badminton was fun. It's the last time I ever played it. Now, ping pong, you kept playing.
Yeah.
Ping pong, you kept. You're
not sweating too much in ping pong.
I don't remember playing in gym class. I just remember playing outside of school.
Yeah, we used to play teams, have 4. And then you'd hit it, have to rotate like in circles. So you'd be the next guy and the next guy. And then if you got knocked out, then another guy would jump in and it'd rotate. It was fun. It was fun. Now, that got tired. I got tired. You were always running.
Okay. Hey, give me. We got about 10 minutes left in the show. Probably should hit like 3 more breaks, but I don't think I'm going to. Well, we did go an extra hour today, didn't we, Hamby? So we got the breaks in probably.
Yeah, we got them all.
Yeah, good. Okay. Well, you look at high school football right now in 2024.
Right.
What are the themes of it? We have reclassification again in district. Yeah. We've got NIL, but I don't really feel like that's a theme of the football season.
No,
I don't know what we think that's going to be. I feel like the theme might be how this transfer.
Yes.
We're now seeing it on steroids, this transfer stuff, right? I mean, how's that going to impact the landscape of good teams, great teams, maybe, with some of the influx of talent that some of these programs have had. But outside of that, I'm kind of missing. Usually every year we come in and we're like, okay, this is going to be the story, this is going to be the storyline. I don't know if there's one overarching storyline around this high school football season.
Well, I think there'll be some shadows of the transfers in a couple maybe super teams. Does it put a little bit more pressure on those teams now because they did reload? Like in the transfer portal, did they do reload? Does that put more pressure on them to perform? Will they meet expectation? So, I mean, I think that's interesting. But the thing that I think sort of neat is what is the team that we're not talking about?
Yeah, that's true.
That's going to come. Because, we talk about it every year. What's the team that we're not talking about that's going to rise to the occasion and maybe make a run or win a district championship for the first time? Those kind of things. But it's always an interesting time, especially now, and we talk about it going into week 1 on the show, is week 1 is so much fun because anything happens in week 1 because you don't know.
You really don't know. There's a lot of unknown out there. I even said this about Trinity Christian. Like, first time since I've probably been in town, we really don't know. They got a lot of young talent, apparently. Right. And as somebody said, hey, they got Verlin Dormady. They'll be fine. But it is a unique team. I don't know how good Trinity's going to be, and how they are in week 1 versus week 8 will probably be totally different with all that young talent. I took a little different view. You talk about the Mandarins and the Reigns of the world that got a lot of transfers in, and people are talking about that. There's some noise, and you can feel whatever way you feel about it. The reality is I think they might have even a more us versus them mentality because they know the noise from the outside is a little bit louder, which just makes you bow up as a competitor. So I'm interested to see how that part plays out, especially in some of the big time matchups in the area. The other thing I noted today, especially, and I told this to Stuart, it seems like we've got a lot of experience in the coaching ranks. Yes. We've got some first timers, but we also, we just had Zachary Harbison on. Right. He's now been at Tocoi for third year, but he was at Inglewood before, so he's been in the area. So even if they haven't been with the same team, Bobby Ramsey's another example. First-year coach at Jackson, but obviously he's been around the block here in Northeast Florida. And then you have coaches like Marcus Wells at Episcopal. Been there now, this is fourth year. So not saying we don't have any first-year coaches, but I feel like we've got coaches that have some experience, are in not the foundational year of their build. As much as maybe in past years.
Yeah, I think that's probably real positive because like Harbison being one and Ramsey, like those two guys you just mentioned. But the thing that's unique is I think you've got guys with ties to the area. Stepped over Mid-Atlantic Coast. He played there, been a player, was a coach for a year at Wolfson. Then he went over there. They were a little bit of success trying to rebuild that program. And so you have those guys. And, of course, you've got Toby. Remember, Toby Bullock at Mandarin was at Wolfson. He was everybody's homecoming and everything. And now it's on the other side. So it's funny when I talk to Toby, he remembers, he doesn't run the score up on people. He rotates his guys in because he was on that other side, and so I think it's interesting, the dynamic to me, what I find interesting is the outside, the Bradford County and the Baker County and the Yulees, those guys' emergence the last few years has really been, to me, profound. We know St. Augustine in that is going to be good. They're going to have good programs, but those fringe area schools that haven't been have really started coming on lately.
That's a good point. A really good point. And here's another thing about those fringe schools. We're seeing the West Nassaus and Fernandina Beach get out of the FHS.
Right.
So that's another storyline potentially, that could we see more defections over, if you have the haves and have-nots, especially with some of this transferring and everything else, do we see more programs say, okay, I'm going to go with this SSAC, or is there a pride part to be in the FHSAA? There's some of that. So there's always a bunch of different things going on. But and listen, the bottom line is over the last few years, but right now we're still in the murky nature of where we're at in high school sports and college sports and everything. Everything's like a changing world.
Yeah, and it's neat. It's neat because we are going to get some great matchups. Really going to get some great matchups in the season. I mean, the St. Augustine Mandarins and the Bowls we're going to have some really big games early in the year, which I find to be really interesting, that the coaches, they're going to have good teams, but they're not afraid to schedule good teams. And some of the mediocre ones that think they're taking that next step are not afraid to schedule the Trinities, Ed White being one, scheduling the Trinities. So I think we're going to have a very dynamic scheduling, and are going to have some great games down the road.
Well, I will say this, and nobody likes to give any credit to the FHSAA or how they, but when they went to this RPI type style thing, you created more of that, and we knew that, and that has really played out. We get more good matchups on Friday nights because scheduling does matter, or maybe if you are playing Mandarin and Bowls, the loss doesn't impact you as much. So, and some people are having trouble with scheduling sometimes to make that happen, but the bottom line is we get more quality games on Friday nights now than I think we did when I first started here.
Yeah, I agree with you that way. And I think it makes the whole area, our whole area is growing, and we're getting an influx of talent. We're getting good coaches and guys that are putting in the time with their kids and building programs. And that's what you've got to do. And you're not always going to be, 10-0 every year. You're not always going to do that. You're going to build your program and try to get to that 7-8 consistent winner, as you go on. And I think that's what we're getting in some of these schools now.
All right, we got about 3 minutes to go, and just want to let's just use this 3 minutes to pump up some of our coverage we got coming up. You guys are actually going to tape an after the game episode with Marty Lee in just a little bit, so that will run in a couple of weeks. Jamie Rogers coming up this week. We had Matt Toblin on, and all of those episodes that we've had and aired and released on our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network are available now on our YouTube channel, Action Sports Jacks. Fantastic listens if you like high school sports in the area and high school coaching. We're going to not just do football. We'll get other coaches in as we go along with this show that Josh and Coach Sullivan are spearheading. And then August 30th, so really 4 weeks from tomorrow, we'll launch high school football coverage like we've never done it before. We'll still have our Friday Night Blitz, but on top of that, we'll do a show called the Zone Blitz. We'll go from 8 p.m. basically till midnight, surrounding our Friday Night Blitz. And Coach Sullivan has been our analyst on this one. We've tried it on radio, social media in the past. Well, this is going to be bigger and better, and I think we're positioned nicely in our TV side of the building to be able to do this the way we're going to do it in the fall. So keep an eye out for that. 8 o'clock, Action Sports Jacks 24/7. Network starting on August 30th.
Scares me every time they do that. I love it.
So it's more high school football coverage as we'll peek. Basically, it's like the Red Zone that you watch on Sundays. We're going to peek into a bunch of different games each and every Friday.
Oh, yeah, I think that's going to be good. I talked to a couple guys here who listened to the After the Game show. They said they're fired up, give us good reviews, so I like it.
Good.
And we got to get you on that. But I really am looking forward to the Friday night Red Zone stuff. I think that's going to be really good and really take it to a next level in our programming.
We're excited about it. And I haven't talked about this much today, and you'll hear it more and more, especially if coaches are listening to this. We want nominees for our Committed to the Uncommitted. This is something Coach Sully and I started a few years back coming out of the pandemic on the ESPN side. We've continued it thanks to people like Nimnick Buick GMC, and we've given away $2,500 scholarships each season for a football player that gets nominated. And we want you to send the nominations. This is an under-recruited player. This isn't a 5-star, 4-star, 3-star guy, but an under-recruited player we can bring attention to and maybe help find a home. Sully has a lot of good connections in the college football world, too. So send us those. Contact us. We'll be looking for those all fall. We'll keep rolling with our Committed to the Uncommitted.
Yeah, that's been great, Brent. I've enjoyed that. We've had really good success stories in the short time that we've done it with the kids going off. So it's awesome. We just look forward to high school football. Everybody's 0-0 and winning the state championship. That's what we love the beginning.
Let's go. Thanks to Casey Kurtz, Olivia Tassley, Stuart Webber, and Jason Hamby for hanging with us a long time today. Nice job back there, Hamby. Thanks to Sully for stopping by, and we'll see you tonight on First and 10 Training Camp, 11:15 on CBS 47, Fox 30. Nice job by Baker Sports and Jaguars Prep here at Everbank Stadium. High School Media Day, a big success. Have a good Thursday, everybody.